Hey, we are
Ain't nobody here.
We're
Nobody's
here. We're live. We're live on the interwebs.
We're just talking to ourselves. Nobody's here.
It doesn't matter.
Nobody's here. Actually, your sister and your mom are here.
I forgot chat was on that side of the screen. I moved where chat was, so I was like, wait a minute. So I gotta look. And we got our moon water charged.
Yeah.
I'm not sure we did it correctly. But yeah.
In fact, it's in one of my drinks.
Did you put it in one of your drinks?
I did. So if I die.
Okay, but it was covered, like it was a covered container. You should have used saran wrap so but you had the solid cover on top of it. So now I don't know if the moon magic water will work.
Magic work. Moon got into the glass. Okay, so this one.
And in the spirit of shit that is bullshit, we're wearing our Bigfoot shirts.
Hey, Bigfoot's not bullshit. Look, Bigfoot astronomy right there.
I know, Bigfoot astronomy. Trademarked.
Yeah, so.
By us. Well, you can't just say there's a trademark, but. Oh, my mom's drinking some Virgo Earl Grey.
Nice, well done.
Nice. I'm just gonna mess with the microphone while we're
Your feet are too active. They're gonna knock over our drinks.
No, it's dangerous.
You're too active.
I'm too active.
You're too active.
I like to be active. I gotta get comfy.
Well, then we need to move drinks.
All right. No, that's good. It's fine. Okay. I'll get settled.
No, you won't.
Yeah.
No, you
Ooh,
won't.
apricot ciders. That sounds good. That sounds nice and refreshing for the oncoming summertime. Incoming.
Yeah, it hasn't met us here in Oak Ridge though.
No, it's been
it's
nice.
Cool.
It's been
a very cool day. Though I think tomorrow's or Tuesday's
nice
gonna be 87.
Yeah.
Which is hot.
Mm-hmm.
For me now.
What do you have on this? They're for the drinks.
It's for the drinks.
I got you. All right. So does that mean you want to get this party rocking and rolling?
Oh, you're in charge.
I guess I am in charge for this episode.
Did you notice the fourth rule?
I thought, should we change it? Opinion to the audience. Should we change the rules so it's just a special rule per episode?
Okay, I shouldn't say anything.
No, actually, no, because it's fun to have like the Lord of the Rings and the Star Wars rules.
Right, but then you can add
a special rule. So okay. So query canceled. We've discussed it ourselves and made our own decision about it. Query.
Domestic query.
Query. All right.
What's the response to that though?
I don't remember.
There's a response. I
guess when Strange New Worlds comes back out, we'll find out. Since I'm sure there will be more queries from Spock.
Yeah, but there's. On cue.
Oh my god! How
that.
Unprofessional are we? You know what? This is the first picture that's fallen down.
It is actually, of all our pictures, it's the first one.
All of our pictures.
How many did you do? Just 2?
I did just 2. These are light stickies. And I have to probably fix the orientation. I can go add another one on.
No, maybe if it. Okay, it's good. It's good. Until it's not.
Well, we'll see how long that lasts. Oh my gosh. I know the universe is like, don't be talking about.
Jeez.
Anyway, we'll see. Well, if it falls down again, then we'll just make do. But
we'll just take that one down if it falls down.
Yeah. Then it'll be a triptych. I don't know. Anyway, a duo. Anyway.
It's a triptych, right?
Triptych.
So triple trip.
So a duo.
Yeah, whatever. All right. Anyway, go ahead.
Anyway, all right. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Cosmos with Cosmos. As always, I'm Liz.
I'm Mike.
And Brandon, of course, is
He's with Kirk.
assignment.
No, he is not. He is with Kirk. He's with Captain Kirk.
That's right. He's on assignment just for his own personal assignment, meeting the legendary William Shatner at Phoenix Comic-Con. He's hung out with Chewbacca and Princess Leia.
But not really.
He's chilled with Sauron and Gimli. And then
no, it's the Witch King. It was the Witch King.
Was it the Witch King? Okay, then the Witch King and Gimli, and has hung out with Shatner.
Diptych is too.
Diptych.
This is funny.
Diptych. That was before the episode. Anyway, it's a long story. I won't get into it. But this is just the two of us on the Astrology episode.
The long-anticipated Astrology episode.
Hold on to your butts, everyone. I found some good nuggets in my research, so I'm excited
there were some good nuggets
to talk about it.
I did enjoy it. One of them is funny to me.
And since it's the astrology episode, and you are the not only are you fancy physics man, but you're a fancy bartender man. What are we drinking?
All right, three different drinks have been made, and we're sharing. We share one of them.
We share one of them. Okay.
All right. So I'm just I need to read all of these.
These glasses are.
These are my favorite glasses.
They're fun, but as a Davison, they're dangerous.
All right. So what you're holding now, we finally did it, everybody. We finally did it.
We did it before.
We did it a second time. This is Starbound Cherry Cosmo. We did it.
So now we're doing Cosmo with the Cosmos. Well.
Okay, so this actually has peach bitters in it, cherry syrup, vodka, lime juice, cranberry juice, and a lemon juice vodka mix to kind of try to create a limoncello, a poor man's limoncello.
A poor man's limoncello.
And the Starbound Cherry Cosmo is great for perspective, innovation, and optimism.
Oh.
That's why I have my cards.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So I should be optimistic about astrology?
No. And this is a lunar eclipse hurricane.
That is beautiful. Okay, you talk about it. I'm going to hold it up for the camera because this is just, look at this gradient, folks. Look at this gorgeous gradient.
It's all about presentation.
Oh my God.
All right, so this is a hurricane with a little bit of a twist on it. This has light rum, dark rum, lemon juice and lime juice, which is what you typically find, and orange juice, which is what you typically find in a hurricane. It also has peach liqueur in it.
Oh.
And this is where it gets a little, All right, so we have moon water.
Uh-huh.
We got the official moon water.
We got the official moon water. Been bathing under the moon all night.
This is where it deviates.
Okay.
Deviates.
Where it divinations.
Divination, yeah, which is in here. And then, I thought we had grenadine. We didn't have grenadine. So I substituted cherry syrup, and it nicely went to the bottom. And this is good for a soul shift, whatever that means. Power and transformation.
Oh, it does look like a sunset in a glass, Katie said in chat. Mm-hmm. And it does. It's beautiful. For those of you listening, it looks like a sunset in a glass.
It looks like a tequila sunrise.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, it looks like a tequila sunrise. All right, and in your rocket over there,
I got a drink and waiting.
It looks like that.
We have rocket cocktail shakers for those listening.
Yeah, so it is a moon over the sea breeze. Mm-hmm. It's a sea breeze, basically. Vodka, cranberry juice, grapefruit juice, and this actually deviates. It does have ginger liqueur in it.
Ginger liqueur,
which you don't typically find in a sea breeze, but yeah, this is great for cleansing. So you'll be clean on the inside after this.
Cleansed of
protection, discipline, focus, and wisdom.
Focus. I should have drank that one first. Actually, no. Maybe it's better that it's saved for a second for a little focus.
Yeah.
Later on.
Yeah. So those are courtesy of a book I received from one Liz Davison.
Me. Yep. On purpose. Yeah.
Yes,
that's
indeed.
Great. So we can make fun of it.
And I guess use it on occasion.
Yes.
So I'm really.
I mean, they sound like good drinks, and the drinks are good. I mean, it's not like.
Oh, I hadn't even had my Cosmo.
See, it's nice.
I just really like the glass. By the way, these glasses are local glasses. We got these from St. Vinny's.
Thrift store. We've discovered this thrift store in town is my new target, and I love it.
Yeah, and in fact, there's a few more of those. I'm going to get those as well.
Nice. Meanwhile, follow us on all the things Drinking Cosmos on Twitter and Cosmos with Cosmos everywhere else, cosmoswithcosmos.com. And you can listen to our podcasts on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and of course, you can see our wonderful faces on the YouTubes for all the live episodes, the full episodes, the hangovers are only on YouTube, and the shot with Cosmos, where we give you just little short shot-sized bits of astronomy and fun facts every other Wednesday.
We gotta make more.
We do. We actually need to record. So I put it on the calendar that we need to record some more.
Okay, good.
Yes, and also you'll notice we're wearing some awesome Bigfoot t-shirts right
We've
here.
We've embraced Oregon culture. And my shirt was actually a gift and made by our realtor, and she has her own boutique called Madame Opal. Madame Opal's Boutique. So you can look that up. The shirts she uses are really soft. They're very nice. It looks like she just does a little screen printing. So they're really cute. Yeah, I have one that has a Bigfoot with on the American flag, but oh god, it's one of my favorite shirts. It's so comfortable,
so soft. It's really nice.
Any political ideas that she has are her own. We don't endorse them necessarily.
But Kathy is wonderful. She's so nice. She was a fantastic realtor, and we just love her. So she had to deal with a lot of bullshit with our stuff. So we thank her. So check out Madame Opal's Boutique. Also, if you want some really awesome art, check out Wild Ixia, Wild IXIA on Etsy. Get some really cool designs by her. She'll do custom stuff. I'm just throwing this out here, Katie. She'll do custom stuff. She's done custom requests on there before. She'll just draw. She's fantastic. So buy her stuff. Her shop is open. I believe it's back open. So buy some stuff. And also check out the MrProctorShow.com for Ron Proctor, who does a lot of does cigar box guitars and talks about all kinds of stuff relating to from education to politics, and he'll soon be doing like some new blender training tutorials, or he's writing a book. I don't know. Check him out. And if you're in the Iowa area, check out Rolling Bluffs Planetarium in the Southwest Iowa. Jack will give you a fantastic astronomy show there.
They're right across the border from Omaha? I think it's Omaha.
Why do we always forget? We can't seem to just get our brains to just like location lock on Jack, who
Oh no, I know where he is. I just don't know what's across the border.
Oh.
Yeah, and because he's right there on the border with Nebraska.
Well, I'll tell you, corn. There's corn.
There's corn. But I can't remember the name of the city.
Oh.
That's what I always forget.
Oh, okay.
But it's Council Bluffs, I guess, Iowa.
And also, we have some drinking rules for the show, or the drinking game. We should just call it a game, I guess, instead of rules. But if you hear some dogs barking, if we make any nerdy references to Star Wars or Star Trek, take drinks and special.
Are we doing Star Trek too?
Star Wars and Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
That's it. Take a drink. And special rule of the episode, my goal this episode, being the astrology episode, is to be nice. I'm going to try to be nice and not, but if I get angry, take a drink. Take a drink when I get angry, basically. I don't know how well this is gonna, because I want to be angry, but I also want to not be so angry. I want to be just like,
you can do
it's bullshit, but here's the things.
Do you want me to be, okay, you remember that Key and Peele's,
I'll
be the angry Liz.
You'll be angry,
so you can sit there like this, and I'll just be the angry Liz behind
we're all
you.
Getting drunk. I think I can, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway. All right.
We're 15 minutes into this. All right, go ahead.
Well, that 15 includes our pre-show banter.
All right.
Which is not on the podcast. So if for those of you, if you're listening on the podcast, you can listen to check out the live episodes, and you get some pre-show banter.
You know, you should tell us about the history of astrology.
I'm going to. Who's leading this show?
I was just trying to get you back on track.
I was on track. I just wanted to take a drink of my Cosmo, what's it called? My Starbeam. Starbound Cherry Cosmo.
Cherry Cosmo. Oh, with cherry vodka. It was cherry vodka, by the way.
Oh, cherry vodka. Instead of regular vodka. Yes, I wanted a little cherry vodka. Anyway, astrology. Look. We all know astrology today, right? It's your horoscope. You read it in the, I would say newspaper, but nowadays, are there still newspapers? Yeah. You know, you read online. I'm about to sneeze, so I'm
Bless you. I love how you turn to not be in the mic. Then you look over here for some reason and then right into the mic.
I thought I had time to be just a minute and then turn off to sneeze, but it did not go that way. So apologies to live listeners. I'll try to remember to cut that from the...
Oh, no. Okay. All right, anyway.
All right.
Newspapers.
Yeah, newspapers, it's fun. You find, and it tells you, look for signs of... things might not seem they're going well, but wait till the end of the week and things will start to perk up. Just hang tight in there and, trust
this is your horoscope.
Trust in yourself and believe you can be the things that you want to believe. Anyway, it's, just usually just a kind of a generic blurb that any month you can read it and it will somehow apply to you, right?
Yeah.
But astrology actually has a very long history. It's a very ancient practice and belief. I did not realize there are different types of astrology, which we'll talk about.
Bullshit version 1, bullshit version 2.
But it's actually, really, it's kind of... yeah, my dad still gets the paper, so I can look in my parents' paper.
He even brought it here over the weekend.
Did he bring the paper here?
Yes, in our recycle bin.
All right. But what was I saying? It has a long history.
Longer than astronomy, actually.
Longer than astronomy, and actually, it really kind of helped develop astronomy. Which, astrology and astronomy are two very different things nowadays, of course. Astronomy being a science backed by empirical data and observations, whereas astrology is just bullshit. However... Okay, it did play a significant role in a lot of ancient civilizations, starting in ancient Babylonia. That is where astrology's roots begin. So let me give you the Encyclopedia Britannica definition of astrology. All right, it's a type of divination that involves the forecasting of earthly and human events through the observation and interpretation of the fixed stars, the sun, the moon, and the planets.
I can't help but think Harry Potter with this.
Throughout history, it was kind of regarded as a science, but of course, today it's the opposite of science, and regarded as a science before a science was actually a thing, before we even probably had the word science, but it was regarded as real and truth, and the cosmos was interconnected to the everyday lives of
so those early civilization people really, it's their first attempts to try to make sense of the universe, the larger universe.
Yeah, and how it relates to them, and really, it's really finding their place in the cosmos, which we do differently now, but that's kind of what it was. They didn't, if you're an ancient civilization, you don't know the things we know now, have the technology we have now. The sky is a huge all-consuming part of the world, and big things happen in the sky.
Yeah, it's
big
the
events
domain of the
happen in the
gods.
sky. Yeah, so it was integral to use the sky, and it was connected to human life. Now, what I found interesting was the different types of astrology. I'm just going to kind of do an overview of those types, and then we'll kind of get into the cultures and the astrology that they use. So the most familiar type that we know of today, that's the predominant type, is horoscopic astrology. So that's using your horoscope, those constellations, to basically guide your daily life, and you imply things from your birth sign, your horoscope, and where it is in the sky, and where the planets, sun and moon are in relation to your horoscope, and all that kind of thing. There's also natal astrology. This is using basically the exact time, location, and place of your birth, and a chart is made to predict your life events in the path of your life, which is weird.
But it would be really awesome. That's a long-term project there. Like, get one done. Like, if my parents had one when I was made, when I was born, when I popped out into the world at 5:59. It's in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. It just to show how wrong it would have been. But that's a long-term project.
Because you had a major deviation from your parents' path for you.
I did.
Then you have, this is funny, mundane astrology. Just mundane astrology. Just mundane. You know what? I should have looked up the etymology of mundane, because I did see it and I didn't write it down, but it's something to do with like worldly.
Really?
But yeah, from like I don't know, it's Latin or Greek, probably Greek. But this one is like actually the most ancient version of astrology, and it's basically implying correlations between geological and astronomical phenomenon. This was used for being the most ancient. It's similar to horoscopic in the sense of it's not using horoscopes per se. But it's just kind of like the positioning of things in the sky, and that affecting weather being able to predict weather patterns, or even later on political events, like that kind of thing. Like, the sun is in this constellation, so it's gonna rain, or it's gonna get rainy, or something. Like it's used for those mundane, worldly aspects of.
It'd be great if somebody measured how often they're right and how often they're wrong. I bet it's 50-50.
I mean, and then you have electional astronomy, and this is determining the best moment to begin an enterprise or undertaking. So this is strictly like a business way. And then you have horary.
Maybe the H is silent? Horary? But
horary?
not
No, I think it's horary. This is answering a question by making a horoscope for the exact time and place the question was asked.
That just...
What? Like...
That's not what you have in the notes.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, so really,
wow.
It is, so what we're really kind of looking at in this, we're not really going to talk about it much, but, I mean, the prevalent ones are the mundane astrology, which is what it began, and then horoscopic astrology.
Do they,
which is kind of what mundane astrology ended up turning into a bit.
So for the exact time, do they...
1:57.
But do they include... How do they handle, like...
Time?
Standard time?
I don't know.
And daylight savings time.
They didn't have those yet. So I don't...
The stars, guys.
I don't know. All right, so let's go to the beginnings. Doodle-doo, doodle-doo, doodle-doo.
If you didn't do it, I was going to do it.
Okay, good. Because, usually Brandon's my time travel doodle-doo partner. So, Babylonia. Ancient Babylonians. Astrology begins here, much as a lot of things actually begin in the Mesopotamian realm here. 2 million BCE. 2 million BCE.
2 million?
I'm sorry. Second millennium. God.
2000 BCE.
Second millennium BCE. So around actually 1800 BCE through Middle Assyrian, which is 1200 BCE. These are the kind of the Babylonian astrological ranges here. And there's a comprehensive text for their astrology that they used called the Anu and Lil. Yeah. And it's basically like 70 cuneiform tablets with 7,000 celestial omens.
Wow.
I don't know what celestial omens are, but I guess
that's just bad news. 7,000 ways that the universe can kill you.
I guess. In the earlier times, it was a lot of mundane astrology, so it's just weather predictions, political events, just kind of an overall, worldly thing. But and really before the 7th century BC, their understanding of astronomy, actual astronomy, was very limited. It wasn't very well developed. It wasn't. Well, yeah. It wasn't great, so to speak. And it actually, their astrology sort of developed within the context of divinations. So, you've seen in movies, like Pirates of the Caribbean, they use the bones or the turtle something or whatever that's shaking.
Yeah, shrimp claws.
Yeah, and so if someone shakes the bones, and then, the bones dictate something. And they use livers of sacrificial animals. And so they would sacrifice an animal, take out the liver, and any marks or blemishes on the liver were used to predict shit.
Imagine what...
They were interpreted as signs that were messages from the gods to the king.
What would they get from my liver and your liver?
I don't... Is the liver's what alcohol messes up, right?
Yeah.
Oh, well... It's not good. Not good, folks. Not good.
A lot of omens coming out of that one.
A lot of omens. And so around the 6th century BCE, the mundane astrology actually started to turn into horoscopic astrology. And this is a big thanks to Alexander the Great, actually. Oh, okay. And we'll kind of go into that a little bit here. But so Babylonians basically kind of started astrology, or we have the first at least kind of written record of astrology from the Babylonians. And then we go into Hellenistic Egypt. So this is Egypt after when you have Alexander the Great and more of that Greek influence in Egypt. And there was a lot of Mesopotamian influence in that because Alexander the Great conquered. Do you hear it?
No,
hear it about to fall?
Okay. I can't hear it. I just checked.
Jeez, don't do that.
You're the one who looks at ghosts.
For those of you listening, one of our pictures behind us fell down before we officially started the show, so now we're weary.
All I did was just look up at it.
So Egypt actually conquered the Persians, and then that brought a lot of Persian culture in, and they actually share two signs with Mesopotamian astrology, and that is Libra, the scales, the balance, if you will, and Scorpius, the scorpion. I guess also in Greek, the scales were the claws of Scorpion, the pinchers.
Oh, really?
His little pinchies.
Is that like the scientific word, the pinchies?
Yeah, the pinchies.
Yeah,
that's
your mom wants to know that certain people in society.
Oh yes, you had astrologers. So I'll talk about that in a minute. But essentially, the Egyptian tradition actually was this sort of what's called decanic astrology, and so they had a group of stars, or these stars, called the declans. And they were the stars that were used in their astrology, and they were used to divide the ecliptic. This is the path of our sun across the sky, the plane of our solar system. They didn't call it the ecliptic then. No. That is an astronomical scientific term.
Probably for this. Zodiac, though.
You know what? Oh my God! I didn't look up origins of the word zodiac.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know for sure.
Somebody Google entomology of zodiac.
Yeah, but the sun, the moon, and the planets all
they all follow across this path, right? And so they use the ecliptic to divide. They used these stars, the declins, to divide the ecliptic into 36 parts of 10 degrees to create a sidereal star clock.
Oh, nice.
So they basically used it to create a clock in the sky so they could tell time. So it was like every 10 degrees or whatever an hour passes. And really the Egyptians are the first to give us our modern 24-hour day and 30-day month, essentially, by observing the stars and essentially through then astrology. And so what happened is their astrology, declinistic astrology, was then mixed with the Ptolemaic Babylonian astrology from Persia, brought in by Alexander the Great through his conquests. And the mixing of those, mundane astrology and declinic astrology, whatever, actually turned into horoscopic astrology. So the term zodiac, thanks to Katie from Google, the term zodiac derives from Latin zodiacus, which in its turn comes from Greek, I'm not going to read that, meaning circle of animal, which is, a lot of the zodiac constellations are animals. Scorpius, Scorpion, Cancer the crab.
Pictures of animals in a row.
Oh, okay, pictures of animals in a row. There we go. Right. Yeah, which makes sense. And of course, I didn't look this up to talk about it, but Babylonians, they had their own constellations and pictures that they saw versus the Greeks versus the Egyptians versus... Yeah, every other culture is going to see something different because every other culture is different and has their own things that relate to them that they're going to interpret seeing into the sky.
Right.
Right? So you have Alexander the Great conquering just a shit ton of the world, right? Bringing in these far east influences into Egypt, and so you have the mixing of cultures, which then creates essentially this new thing, which is the horoscopic astrology that we're most familiar with today, and in Egypt, and you have kind of a basis of divination, or that might be a different culture in there. We'll get to it anyway. I won't get ahead of my notes. But then you have some dude named, you may have heard of him, Ptolemy.
Some dude.
And Ptolemy, you can call him one of the first astrologers as well.
Okay.
In fact, when I Googled, first astrologers or famous astrologers in history, Ptolemy was the first name. One of the first names that popped up there. And he actually laid the basis of Western astrology by writing a book called the Tetrabiblos.
Okay.
And it was the first astrological text to be circulated around medieval Europe in around 1130 CE. So you have this text that this ancient dude wrote, that then gets revived in medieval Europe, and bada boom, bada bing, you got big astrology resurgence in medieval Europe. But we will get to that. We're not quite there yet. Mm-hmm. But that text is kind of like a basis of, I would say, the modern astrology that we have today that has persisted since medieval Europe. Since
one of my favorite astronomers did that stuff. We'll get to him.
Yeah.
We'll get to him.
Yeah.
We'll get to him.
Yeah. Some notable names, surprising, that you would not think were astrologers, but they were, essentially, because astronomers weren't a thing. A Tetris Bible, it is, Biblos is in Bible. I don't know, Tetris is like third or three, or I don't know. I don't know what the translation of Tetris Bible Biblos is, other than the Bible
Biblos
part.
is going to be book.
It's basically like a Bible of astrology.
Isn't Biblos going to be book?
Biblos would be book, not Bible. because biblioteca is Spanish for library.
Yeah, and so I would...
Look, Federico would know more about languages because he's Italian and therefore not a dumb American, so he has he's more cultural and knows things more about languages.
God. Yeah, we are stupid in this country.
All right. So, moving from Hellenistic Egypt to Greece and Rome, some popular times. Greece and Rome, very familiar to us. Alexander the Great actually exposed the Greeks to Babylonian astrology from Asian conquests. Yeah, thanks, Federico. And so there was like this priest from Babylon then, after Alexander the Great had his conquests. This priest from Babylon moved to Greece, and he wanted to teach astrology and Babylonian culture to the Greeks. Naturally, he's
as one does.
Hey, and then of course the Greeks then transmitted the stuff to Rome because Rome just kind of took over everything.
Federico.
They just assumed, Federico. They just assumed the cultures of those they conquered, and Tiberius is the first Roman Empire to have a court
emperor.
Is that not what I said? Did I say
said
empire? Is the first court emperor to have a court astrologer.
Okay.
So there was an official court astrologer under. Now there were astrologers that were used by emperors prior to Tiberius, but they weren't like official. Like this is the court astrologer. And so then, of course, when you have a court astrologer, that gives it more credence, that gives it power, that gives it authority.
Yeah, it gives it more weight.
It gives it more weight. So here's an interesting fact that I found. In the 2nd century CE, astrologer Claudius Ptolemy, because apparently everybody is named either Claudius, Ptolemy, Augustus, Maximus, I don't know. Those are the names. He was obsessed with getting his horoscopes correct. All right. I guess
there's worse things to be obsessed about.
Yeah, he wanted accuracy. So he actually began the first accurate attempt at a world map to chart the connection between someone's birthplace and the shit in the sky.
Oh, okay.
So, due to this, this is when he coined the term geography.
Wow.
So we get the term geography from Claudius Ptolemy making shit for astrology.
All right.
Making a world map just on astrological purposes. That's wild.
That is pretty wild.
That is wild.
And that was a whole branch of science.
Now it's a whole thing. Geography is a science. It's social studies. Like, whole classes on geography. I am horrendous at geography.
Because we're American.
Anytime there's a geography question on Jeopardy, I'm like, nope, I don't got it.
Because everything is America.
So I just thought that was interesting. I guess I get mad at astrology today because of that just pseudoscience. People put so much stock into it and make it real and whatever. But it actually really did have an important role in history and the development of legitimate things that we use today. Federico says, since then, astrology has paid more than astronomy. That's why many sciences pretended to be on the dark side. Oh, by the way, Federico, I got some dark side zodiac for later, by the way. So, good. Does that count? You know what? Let's count that as a...
As a drink?
Yeah, let's count that as a drink. There. That's a drink. Dark side. And I'm pretty sure I'm gonna say that Federico meant that as a Star Wars reference.
Oh, Hurricane's not bad. It's been a while since I had a Hurricane.
This is your first time trying it? You didn't try it pre-show?
I did not try it pre-show.
Okay.
I typically don't try the drinks pre-show.
All right. Now, okay, for us skeptics and for us scientific-minded, good to know there were actually a lot of critics, or some critics, over astrology, saying that no, this is bullshit. This shouldn't be a thing. And so in 44 BCE, Cicero, De Divinatione, which is an interesting name for divinations and whatever. But he rejects astrology. And ready for this, guys? Sextus Empiricus. This is a name. Sextus. Yes. We're gonna take some time on this.
We're gonna take a moment.
We're gonna take a moment on this name.
Enjoy that name for a moment.
Sextus Empiricus. Empirical sex?
Empirical sex.
Scientific sex.
He was the original sex therapist. He was the original Kinsey's.
The original Kinsey's? Sextus Empiricus?
Sextus Empiricus came up with the whole Kinsey scale, but it was called the Sextus scale, and the Kinseys were like, hey, we're taking that. Yeah.
Sextus
Empiricus.
Oh my god, my science teacher in elementary school, her name was Mrs. Sexton, and
in middle school?
No, in elementary school.
In elementary that's not bad,
but we still chuckled about it a little bit.
Yeah, but you have to be in the upper grades.
She was really sweet. The original Dr. Ruth, yeah. So Sextus Empiricus, he actually compiled ancient arguments against astrology, and his book was called Against Astrology. Arguments, actually, I think I did this wrong, but it's arguments against the astrology.
You cannot have come up with a more creative name.
Yeah. So the sex guy, he's actually known for a school of philosophical thought called Pyrrhonism.
Ooh, they set fires.
Yeah, you would think. Oh, you got like a cat here. And so Pyrrhonism, I don't know if I'm... It means sixth experimentation scientist. Well, that's not fun, Federico. But what kind of name is that? Sixth experimental scientist? Like, who's going like, was he the sixth kid? And the parents were into... when did science first become a word, first of all? But anyway... So Pyrrhonism, and I would say we're purists. We're not purists. No. We're purists. This rejects dogma and advocates suspension of judgments over the truth of all beliefs.
Okay, all right.
So really, I would say this is like an early form of atheism, almost like.
Yeah. I mean, in a way, yeah. I get behind that.
Yeah.
I can get behind that. I am now a...
Pyrrhonist?
Pyrrhonist.
I don't know. It's for those of you listening, and, well, I guess watching as well, it's spelled Pyrrhonism. Ironically,
Federico says Latin names are
Latin names are real fucking weird. Latin names are real
It originated from you.
All right, so you got Greece and Rome. They're taking on astrology. Well, Rome at this point, we'll say. Rome taking on astrology in full, just embracing it. The Islamic world, it's huge. Medieval Europe. This is the lasting effect of astrology today, is when medieval Europe gets a hold of it. Alright, medieval Europe. These motherfuckers are, well, first of all, they're all dying of something.
Yeah.
Now, here's what's really concerning, okay? It is astrology becomes widely and wildly popular in medieval Europe. You have people that are astrologers by profession. You have, the leadership that has astrologers, and here it's everywhere. It's just absolutely everywhere. It is bona fide, like it's basically like bona fide. It's like gravity. It is like real and true, and everything needs to be dependent on astrology. Here's a weird, scary fact that I found about astrology in medieval Europe. Everyday medical practice by the 13th century.
So 1200s.
1200s. In the 1200s, physicians and 1200. Let's just think about 1200s medical practice. By the way, we're talking leeches. Bloodletting. Like, it's not great.
No.
Okay, but physicians were required by law to calculate the position of the moon before carrying out any medical procedures, major medical procedures like surgery or bloodletting or whatever. They had to by law calculate the position of the moon, and I assume make sure the moon is in good favor or whatever for a successful surgery.
I guess that means that they could just consult the local astrologer for that. Hey, I'm gonna cut in this.
No, the physicians did the physicians actually have to calculate. They had to do it.
They had to not only know, they had to go to school.
They had to be
learn how many leeches to put on somebody.
They had to be astrological
and then
physicians.
Learn how to chart planets.
And to learn how to at least calculate the position of the moon.
I'd be like, the moon's there. There's where the moon is.
Or where it's going to be, or...
And then tomorrow is going to be over there. So,
yeah,
you decide when it's best for you to have surgery.
Yeah.
But surgery in the 1200s?
Not great.
No anesthesia. No
antibiotics. No one's washing their hands.
No,
No one's wearing face masks. No one's wearing scrubs.
It's Typhoid Mary.
It's just... it's things
how
like
did
this.
Survive?
Exactly. It's things like this that I'm like, how did we actually survive as a species? Because, surgeries fail. Katie says on chat, surgeries fail when the moon isn't high enough.
Now, when I had my heart surgery, I told that heart surgeon,
you better calculate the fucking moon.
You better calculate where the moon is and where Pluto is. It's not a planet, but it's playing into this somehow. Damn Pluto.
Federico says on chat, at least at that time doctors were used to math. Oh, were they?
Well, it was going to be algebraic math.
We don't get calculus until Newton. So,
no.
So by the end of the Renaissance, astrology's popularity, I think Zeus.
But here's the thing, though,
has waned.
Just for a second.
Moon pun intended.
I apologize. In the 1200s, at that point we had really kind of taken a step backwards in in knowledge of the universe.
Well, a lot of knowledge was lost after the burning of the Library of Alexandria.
Well, yeah, but even when the Roman Empire fell, the Dark Ages.
Although that's a misnomer.
Okay, but you still lose. I think we lost a lot of knowledge, and so you have to get that back. And so if we're in the 1200s, I'm still like, okay, you guys can do astrology. I mean, it can...
It's fine. If you're medieval, you can do it.
You can believe in it and that type of thing. But when we get to the science revolution, then no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So after the Renaissance, it started to wane because we started to get more... Science started to become a thing. And people started to understand more and learn more and observe more. And so astrology then started to become like, well, no, that's not a thing. And started to become more bullshit and less integral to, the functioning of society. But astrology did help with the development of modern astronomy. And that's because you had people that were looking at the sky. They were observing and calculating the movements of celestial bodies, and so that helped to develop a better and wider understanding of the cosmos, and to turn that into eventually a scientific understanding based on empirical, nothing to do with Sextus, empirical observation and evidence.
Right.
But even like Galileo and Tycho Brahe were kind of called astrologers. Astronomers wasn't really a thing.
I'm sorry. I do have to say, Federico, you're absolutely right. That is definitely a Western-centered way of looking at it. In India, they did zero. Also, the Mayans did zero here in the Western Hemisphere.
And in Arabic culture, algebra, But if you look at India, astrology is a huge thing. When I'm going to talk about one modern astrologer later. But when I had looked up famous astrologers modern day, a ton of them were Indian, astrology and like that yogi culture, like yoga and that sort of, and all of that are all intertwined and huge in India. Like that's an integral part of their culture is, and even we had watched, and this is whatever, a tangent, but we had watched a couple, we watched the first season of Indian matchmaking on Netflix, and the Indian matchmaker, she goes to an astrologer to see how couples will align, if they will work, and kind of like what is needed to make a couple work or something.
Right.
And this is like a legitimate profession in India, is an astrologer.
And His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama, the monks, when the 13th Dalai Lama had died, the monks then, they actually used astrology to try to figure a few things out with it. And so and that was in I think the 14th Dalai Lama was born in 1937, back in my Buddhist days, and so that's recent.
Yeah.
It's only, it's not even 100 years ago.
Yeah, no, I mean, astrology...
Not even 90 years ago.
I would say astrology, yes, is very, like, what we think of as astrology, very Western-centered part of the culture.
But it's all over the world.
But it is all over the world, and more dominant in, say, like, India, taken with more authority. Whereas I would say the majority of people in America... are like, oh, it's fun to read a horoscope, but they don't necessarily put too much stock into it. Yeah, it's more of an entertainment-based thing. There are people that definitely do put a lot of stock into it. I have at least one coworker that's all over, and she knows I hate it too, and she will just say things because she knows she's just waiting for my reaction on it. And that's fine. And that's fine, okay? Because she uses it for her. She's not promoting it as necessarily like this is. It's truth to her, but she's not like promulgating. I don't know words. She's not like this is. She's not trying to force it on anyone like Christians. So I mean, at least there's that. I mean,
just the 2 words of that sentence. All right. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Okay. But I mean, okay. We all know that how the solar system works, right? The sun is at the center, propagating. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Mom. We all
She hasn't been drinking.
No, just some
Virgo Earl Grey.
Virgo Earl Grey,
which is Virgin Earl Grey.
Yes, because us Virgos. So we know how the solar system works, right? The sun is at the center of the solar system. The planets orbit around the sun at the center of our solar system. The Earth rotates and is rotating around the sun, and so that changes like the positioning of the constellations and stars and when we see them during the nighttime, because obviously we can't see them during the fucking daytime because the sun is so bright.
Now they are up. Don't get us wrong, we just can't see them because of the sun.
I mean, you have these astronomical events, such as, when Mercury goes in retrograde or Venus in retrograde.
Very good. Very good.
I know. A Mars in retrograde.
Yeah, those are more commonly associated with retrograde.
Yeah, and but it's not like, but for these retrogrades. Okay, it's not like the planets are actually moving backwards or anything. It's just we're just passing them, or we're passing us, and so it's actually an optical illusion of how they're moving in the sky. We get an optical illusion that they're moving backwards in the sky when they're not really. They're moving at the same rate and in the same direction that they always have been. It's just orbital dynamics. It's just orbital dynamics, and these are. Rocky bodies. We have gas planets that are gassy bodies. They're just moving according to the laws of physics. This is what's happening. The laws of physics are happening. And what does that mean for you? Absolutely nothing. Okay? You're observing the laws of physics, okay? But the planets and their movements have no relation on how your life is going to turn out. Your life path, what's going to happen to you tomorrow, how your month's going to go. There is no correlation whatsoever, because the planets, guess what? They've been around a lot longer than any life on Earth has been around. The Earth has been around a lot longer than any life on Earth has been around. So there's no correlation between how celestial objects move, aka how, because celestial objects sounds a little fanciful, how stuff in space moves with your life. Hey, look at that.
Look at
Brandon came in with some commentary. Brandon comes into chat while he's on his own personal assignment.
Okay, so what I was thinking about was actually kind of related.
I'm trying not to be angry, so I'm talking in a very light, pleasant tone.
So in my head, it was, I need to, in The Hangover, I need to try to bring up when an astrologer said something to me, and I basically broke out quantum physics to him, and they just glazed over. And we can do that in Hangover.
Oh gosh, okay. Check out The Hangover or stick around for The Hangover, because I'm excited for that story.
Okay, it's not as big as what she's excited for, but go ahead.
Okay. Well, hold on. But Federico has a comment saying 50% of Italians believe in astrology is scientifically accurate, which is slightly less than physiology, but more than economy.
Okay. Can somebody look that up for the United States?
Oh God.
No, I actually am very. Are we?
The shit Americans believe in?
I'm thinking.
Look.
I bet. Oh, but you also said that that we really don't believe this. You said that at the very beginning.
No, but I'm saying the shit Americans believe in.
Oh, I know. Somebody look that up for America, because I am betting that we are greater than 50%. We
got to be greater than 50%.
And I would be shocked if we're less.
We got to be greater than 50%.
So somebody out in the chat verse. Look it up for us, please.
I mean, look, at the end of the day, okay, astrology, I mean, it's fun. Everybody has fun looking up, which we're going to do some horoscopes in a bit. Mm-hmm. All right, and we're going to do your horoscopes during the Hangover. Chat's horoscopes are coming during the Hangover.
1 in 4?
30%? Wow, Federico, you better get on Italy,
we got to educate Italy.
I mean, yeah, it's fun to read your horoscope, like, to have a little laugh or, whatever. But taking it seriously, any pseudoscience.
Okay, a more recent article. Yeah.
Okay.
Fucking internet.
Yeah, I mean, any pseudoscience, whether that's acupuncture or astrology, and part of astrology is like numerology and the crystals and I know, and all that. While, yes, it may be fun, and it's fine individually if it's like, oh, this crystal makes me feel better. It's gonna be, or dream catchers, which white people have totally co-opted from Native American cultures.
Well,
yeah. Like we do everything.
And it's like all these people who want to get pregnant will put a little Cocopelli
the
statue
Cocopellis
on their...
Yeah, or put an egg under their bed for Mexican cultures. But pseudoscience, while can be fun in small doses, when it is when it's taken and put into like a science category, and when it's taken and promoted as real and truth, there is a danger to it and a cost to it.
That's my issue.
Because you have a lot of people that say, for example, you'll have people with, say, a terminal illness like cancer, that then stop utilizing Western medicine because they heard about some pseudoscience bullshit, that they don't have the information, they don't have enough information, or they're just so scared and desperate, that they're going to take anything that could possibly save them as fact, that can end up then killing them. So, pseudoscience can be very, very dangerous, and it aligns a lot with the misinformation and the lack of fact-checking that we have a prevalence of in at least America. In this country, so while it's fun to take it with a grain of salt, but then at the same time, it's very, very dangerous when it becomes mainstream and people start really believing it.
Yeah, and and this, okay, and so you actually do have a right to be angry about that, and it does actually come up into American politics recently being in the past 40 years. Nancy Reagan had an astrologer.
Oh,
and,
God.
And Nancy Reagan would consult her astrologer on behalf of the fucking president of the United States.
So, as a court astrologer.
Yeah. And
an Oval Office astrologer.
And Ronald Reagan, I hate the man. But compared to Trump, I love him. And so Ronald Reagan actually would listen to Nancy, and things would be, the whole astrologer thing. Like if there was a public event, it would all have to be cleared through the astrologer. And Ronald Reagan had his dementia fingers on a nuclear button. It would have been, and this is a serious question. If the astrologer would have said to Nancy, "Hey, you need to nuke Putin, you need to nuke Russia or the Soviet Union at the time, because the stars are all in alignment," would he do that? Obviously, the answer is no, because he didn't do that. But
and that's
a scary thing.
That is what's scary about all these things that are not based on facts, that are not based in reality, and people just wanting something to validate their own way of thought, or the things that make them feel better or feel comfortable, rather than the hard truth of science or reality. We as a species.
Well, now I know what that.
Why did you say Federico? Message redacted.
Well, it said Italy, December 2019, message retracted. The Italian government.
I don't know if
they're on you, Federico.
I like what Brandon said. Astrology, just say no. That should be the new dare for astrology or any pseudoscience. Just say no.
Yeah. How did that work out for you, Nancy? Just say no. I mean, drugs are still whatever.
I don't know why OBS crashed there. Okay. But we still have famous astrologers today. In fact, I pulled up one because I didn't want to give anyone else more
phone's on mute.
I didn't want to give anybody else any kind of airtime for us anonymous people that nobody watch. But there is one famous astronomer in Western culture. Her name is Chani Nichols. She's Canadian.
And that is not a reflection on Canada.
Not a reflection on Canada, eh? We know you guys are nice. And definitely run your country a lot better than we have our country run.
Universal health coverage.
Yeah. Her net worth. Are you $30 million.
Me?
$30 million. She is a professional astrologer making millions of fucking dollars.
Me, you, and Brand. Oh, we gotta take a drink. You're getting angry. We gotta take a drink.
I did get angry. I got angry at that. Yeah. I need to. Hold on. I gotta. We're gonna do what Mike hates. I gotta make a drink.
You need to drink the water out the bottom of that, or we can put it in here.
Oh, because it has
water.
I'll drink some water.
You probably need water anyway.
That's why I said I'll drink some water.
Yeah, I mean, me, you, and Brandon have gone into the wrong business.
Science!
We went into science.
When
we should have gone into pseudoscience.
Oh my god.
We could be millionaires.
Seriously.
Yeah. Me could be living in Hawaii.
Just making up shit.
But we can move to Hawaii.
Scorpius right now. You better not invest in that venture.
But we can move to Hawaii and then like move your family to Hawaii. So
Federico says Italian situation. 31st of December 2019, the most important TV show. The astrologer said 2020 will be a great year for work and travels.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a great work for work and
year.
21, he was still asked for a prediction on
2020.
He was 100% wrong about 2020 because it was the worst year for work and travels.
It was the worst year ever.
So Chauny Nichols, this Canadian, worth $30 million for being a professional
Canadian.
Fucking
it doesn't matter.
Astronomers. It doesn't matter. She began her career basically writing a weekly astrology newsletter for friends. Like just.
Like we send one to Brandon.
Yeah, like for the fun of it.
It'd be like, Brandon, you will travel in the next week.
So she focuses now. Okay, I'll give her some credit here. She focuses on progressive values and marginalized communities such as queer and trans people. She's appeared on an episode of Netflix's series Explain. They have an episode of Astrology. We should have fucking watched this. I did not think about it, even though I put this in the notes to watch.
You know what?
To watch it.
Tonight.
We might have already watched it, but maybe we didn't because we were like, no,
we have to watch it tonight. We're going to watch it tonight. It's my day.
And she was the resident astrologer on Oprah's magazine's website.
Harpo?
It's
O Magazine.
O Magazine.
Harpo
she was the resident astrologer. There's where your 30 million comes in. Her first book she did. You were born for this. Astrology for radical acceptance. Astrology for radical acceptance. Like, she wanted to write a book that would help people access the wisdom of their chart so that they could more quickly align with living out their purpose. And so that we could all be, again, more quickly of service to the world. It was number 8. It debuted at number 8 on the New York Times bestseller list. Number 8.
Can I go back to something really quick?
Yeah.
In astrology, how do you focus on LGBTQ? Happy Pride, everybody.
Happy Pride!
We made it. But happy Pride. But
because, look... Here's what these people do is they focus on people who are marginalized, who are being shit upon, who need something to believe in them, to give them, show them, make them feel valuable, give them self-worth. It's predatory. Right. Is what it is.
Exactly. And so it's not a good thing that
it's not. I know. I said I give that credit, but yeah, at the end of the day, it's really not a good thing because she's being a predator on people who are being shit upon a lot, especially in America. They're just being shit upon, and so
especially here lately,
giving them a fake semblance of power and validity that is not real.
Validity would not be a word I would use.
What I mean? Like,
I know what you mean. That it gives them a sense of hope.
A sense of hope, but this is not.
Yeah.
She's just
an acceptance.
Yeah, they're being severely marginal. I mean, they've always been marginalized, but especially now, there's a very strong attack on especially trans people.
Yeah,
which is
in this country,
ridiculous.
Yeah.
And so that it's like, oh, okay, I can. She can try to wedge her way into their psychosis, essentially, and it's manipulation. It's taking advantage of. It's not.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody supporting trans people and LGBTQ plus is great, right? However, when you're really $30 million, you're not doing this to help a community.
No, they're doing this.
You're preying on them and trying to get that base in order to further yourself, right? Because at the end of the day, astrology is not a fucking science. God damn it! I need a stream deck.
Okay, maybe for your birthday, it's coming up.
It's not real, okay? It's bullshit. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. You look at... I know.
Do we need to take a drink again?
No, you don't need to take a drink again. This is all a part of the first angry rant. It's bullshit. And we're going to prove it to you right now because I have... Not only do I have a book, which is like Dark Side Zodiac, which is like, ooh, the naughty Zodiac. But I downloaded 2 apps on my iPad. I downloaded like 5 apps, but they were like... Just you had to like make a login and
that's
it was like bullshit. So I found 2 that I could get horoscopes for free.
Let's do it. Let's roll it. It's gonna be fun.
There, Katie's like, here's the rant I was expecting. All right, so we're gonna do a little bit of and for in the hangover, I'll go to like whatever chat signs are, unless your chat sign goes well. My mom's will go with mine, but we're just gonna focus on Mike, me, and Brandon's. Star sign right now. Brandon is a Leo.
Do you have him in your phone? Like you have it? Oh, you have it on the iPad.
I have it on this iPad. I was trying to. I have this little mini iPad that I started using again for my notes, but I couldn't get it. I don't have them downloaded on here.
What's your battery on your iPad?
46%.
It did okay.
The OBS WebSocket drains so much from.
No, but it did okay from 75 to 45.
Okay, but since it's gonna be on me, I'm gonna actually plug it in and get.
There you go. All right, you're gonna do Brandon, right? Let's do Brandon
I'm
first.
gonna do Brandon first. Although in order, you're first.
I know I'm first because I'm Mike. It's Wiki.
All right, Brandon would be a Leo. He is a Leo.
His birthday's in August.
All right, we're gonna do three different.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to do 3 different... we're going to use 2 different apps, and then we're going to go into we'll look at the book here, which I have on Cancer at first, but I'll go to...
Okay, all right. Anyway, Leo's Brandon.
First page description. Okay, so, for Brandon, horoscope time. Leo the lion. All right. For Sunday,
today.
June 4th, 2023. You won't care much what others think today, dearest Leo. As the Sagittarius moon seeks to elevate your confidence and sense of individualism. Unfortunately, your carefree nature could conjure a hater or two when Luna and Saturn square off. That's the moon and Saturn, or they're going to square off, apparently. But try not to waste your time with power struggles or competitive behaviors. You'll feel motivated to build yourself up when Mars becomes active this afternoon, especially where creative outlets and passion projects are concerned. Plan on having some fun later tonight. Hey! When the full moon rises, and rally with your best buds to safely blow off some steam after a busy work week.
Hey, all right, hold on real quick. Hey, Google, what constellation is the moon in?
On the website theskylife.com, they say the moon is currently in the constellation of Libra. People also ask me, does the moon have a constellation? Want to hear the answer?
No.
Nope.
Thank you, Google.
Okay.
But Federico's 8 hours ahead of his prediction. He read his horoscope. Sagittarius Moon is the name of Brandon's next sci-fi novel.
Yeah, but the moon's not even in Sagittarius.
So we're gonna go to another app for Brandon's horoscope for today. All right. Yes, I get it. Okay. Stop telling me how to use the app. Okay. No, I want to skip the tutorial. Yes, skip the tutorial. Thank you. All right. Here's your second horoscope for Leo, Brandon. Alias the lion is what it says. Alias.
Oh, do not let him start referring to himself as the lion.
No, that's for Leo's alias is the lion. Are you pushing yourself too hard, Leo? Are you? Are you digging in to get so much done right now that you are forgetting to take proper care of yourself?
Okay, that actually might be true. That might be true.
Isn't it true of all of us? As a passionate lion, you do many things in a larger-than-life manner. When you take on a challenge, as you may be attempting to do now, you often forget that you are only human. despite your extraordinary energy and courage. Today, make sure that you get the help you need and that you remember to treat yourself kindly. You can still try to conquer a big goal, but you'll be more successful if you are good to yourself in the process.
You know what he's doing? He's meeting Captain Kirk right now.
He's currently in bed.
Well, no, he's not in bed. He met Captain Kirk.
He did.
This is a long one.
Here's your week horoscope from the same app, Brandon. You may have financial limitations on something you want to do, but worst of all, Leo, it might involve joining friends in a venture that they want you to be included in.
Eugene! Fly to Eugene, come down to Oak Ridge, July 4th!
But if you can't do it right now, that's nothing to be embarrassed about.
Can you not do it? What?
It would be wrong to stretch yourself beyond your limits, only to pay for it later on. Just take a rain check, or explain your situation if you feel comfortable enough to do so.
Brandon, we'll help you get here.
There might be an alternative, or others might be willing to wait. There is a way to work it out. You have been working hard at something recently, mostly because you know it's the right thing to do. And while you aren't doing this to impress anyone, someone is very impressed.
Who are they, Brandon?
Your work ethic is stellar, and it is being noticed. You may find yourself the recipient of lots of compliments before the end of the week, coming from someone who has the influence to help you out with a goal of yours. Be careful not to let self-doubt stop you from taking on a challenge later in the week. If you don't think that you have what it takes, then you have definitely underestimated yourself.
Is this the week coming up?
This is the current week.
Oh, so...
Oh, you wanted to read next week?
No, don't read. It's too long. So it was this week.
This was this week.
That just ended.
Ended. But for next week, just in I'll just paraphrase. Like you may want to sign up for a class or a seminar. So you don't jump the gun on something. Research it fully. You may have the urge to change something about your home life, including perhaps your location.
Hey, there are a lot of places here in Oak Ridge.
But you also may have the desire to travel. Next week, Brandon, you may have the desire to travel. Oh, you also may have the desire to do something from your bucket list, like ride a horse on the beach for the first time, or learn to fly a plane.
Learning to fly a plane, that is A, not a small task, not B, not cheap.
You're into self-expression next week. You're going to be into self-expression and exhibiting your creative side next week, Brandon.
He's going to be dancing through his apartment, like LGBTQ flags, self-expressing.
I got to do his dark side. Let me do his dark side. This is just a Leo description from the dark side zodiac. A description of Leo. Because there's pages on things.
Okay.
All right, so
Leo.
So
that's all you're doing is description.
Just this description. Okay, so from the dark side for Leo is a masculine.
Leo's masculine.
Fixed fire sign ruled by the sun. It is the fifth sign on the zodiac wheel, directly opposite Aquarius, and is named for the constellation Leo, which roars and preens behind the sun at this time of year. On the dark side...
That was a great song, by the way, Brandon. I love that song.
Brandon said, like Mick Jagger and David Bowie dancing in the streets.
It was a great song.
On the dark side, Brandon, this makes you a vain, arrogant, condescending solipsist with imperial longings and an all-pervasive addiction to unconditional sycophancy.
Wow.
I mean, I'm sorry, but if anybody's heard his yawns, they are pretentious.
They are pretentious.
Brandon has the most pretentious yawns you've ever heard.
And, like the brain, and Pinky and the Brain, he doesn't want to take over the world.
Brandon says in chat, he's so vain, he probably thinks this topic's about him.
It is about him.
All right, do we want to do me or you next?
Let's do you.
Oh, okay, we're going to do me. All right.
Do we want to start with the dark, or do we want to start with your daily horoscope?
We'll start with the dark sign. We'll start with the dark. I gotta find
Virgo. Did you not have these like already?
I did not. But they're all in a row. It basically goes Cancer, Leo, Virgo.
You gotta go back.
So, all right. So for my dark side, basically Virgo is a feminine, mutable earth sign ruled by Mercury. Directly opposite Pisces.
You know, it's going to be great to compare you to your mom.
I carp and nitpick behind the sun at this time of year, which is, I don't know.
What does that mean?
This is a book. I don't know what this time of year means because you could read this book any time of year.
But nitpicking behind the sun, what does that mean? Okay, anyway, you nitpick. All right.
But on the dark side, this makes me a peevish, hypocritical, anal retentive with an obsession for sterile perfectionism and a pedantic fetish for detail. Now,
Jesus Christ.
Now, kind of on point.
Wait a minute, read it again. Say it again.
I'm a pedant. My dark side is that I'm a peevish, hypocritical, anal retentive with an obsession for sterile perfectionism and a pedantic fetish for detail. This is me, my mom, and my dad, by the way.
Okay, all right. So you do have a thing for detail and perfectionism, and your dad definitely so. Mm-hmm. Wow. I mean, your mom? I'm not really feeling that for your mom necessarily.
My mom will confirm that I do have a fetish for detail.
Yeah, no, you do.
Brandon says Liz is Leslie Knope.
Minus the notebooks.
Minus all the note. Although, if I had the time,
you would. No, that actually might be spot on. That actually might be spot on for you.
Except for my pessimism. My pessimism takes me away from Leslie Knope a little bit.
Yeah, but okay, but all right. So Leslie Knope though is not in the no. Oh shit, that actually might be true.
That's
for you.
actually pretty good.
However,
yeah,
for you and your dad, it's not for your mom. I don't think.
For my mom, who's also a Virgo. So. No. All right. Here's a daily Federico's wife and daughter are both Virgo. One matches the description, and the other is the opposite.
I think that just answers your question about whether astrology is real. All right.
Here's my daily horoscope for today from this one app, from a app. Emotional tension could manifest this morning, dearest Virgo. I had no emotional tension this morning, as it is now 2:21 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, daylight time.
Okay.
As the Sagittarius moon squares off with Saturn,
which is in Capricorn or whatever it is that Google says.
These vibes
Libra.
Could be particularly problematic for relationships that have become boring or restrictive, though passive-aggressive behaviors won't yield helpful solutions. Luckily, you'll find ways to express yourself without ruffling feathers as Luna and Mars align this afternoon, though you'll need to be brave when articulating your truth. Plan on cozying up at home, either solo or with the people you love most, as the Sagittarius full moon activates the sector of your chart that governs domestic bliss, dramatically elevating the vibe in your space.
Yeah, but here's the problem: is the moon's not even in Sagittarius. It's not even in Sagittarius. It's in Libra.
Are you saying that this horoscope is inaccurate?
I'm saying it's not accurate.
All right, let's go to another app.
Okay.
Okay. I'm not going to say what the names of these apps because I obviously don't want to promote them.
All right, let's read it. Let's do it.
All right, this is my daily horoscope for today, Sunday, June 4th, 2023, for those of you listening.
You going to be passive aggressive in this?
You keep repeating certain behaviors with someone in your life.
Okay.
There may be a conflict that keeps occurring that you keep regretting. The adage that describes insanity as doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result may apply. You don't want to lose a certain relationship, Virgo, but you do wish that it could be better. Maybe it can. But to change things, you'll need to change the way you approach the relationship. Start studying how you interact with this person and see what you might be able to do differently. Okay. It's a start.
I feel really targeted by this one. I feel like after this podcast, we should talk. Maybe.
Do
you not like me playing video games?
No, No, it seems to be like me. I'm doing something. I don't know what I'm doing. All right, here's my horoscope for this week that has happened already.
Paraphrase?
No, I'll
No, paraphrase it. We're 90 minutes into this.
Well, no, I'm doing next week too. I'll see what comes up next week. It's fine. Whatever. People are here for it.
We didn't do this for Brandon.
Yeah, we did.
I thought we paraphrased it.
No, I did his current week, and then I paraphrased the next week. Okay, where did your treasure trove of common sense wander off to?
Wait a minute, say that again. I'm sorry. I was looking at
Where did my treasure trove of common sense wander off to?
Yeah, where did your common sense go?
Friends and family members may be wondering that aloud about you this week as you strive to accomplish something that others just can't see value in. What was I trying to accomplish this week that you didn't see value in?
I don't know. I'm sorry.
All right, I'll try and paraphrase it a little bit.
I really love all that you did with the house. Did I not tell you that?
If I have a project I believe in, persevere with it anyway, despite what people are saying.
I'm really trying to support you.
I could be lured into a conversation.
I put all the pictures where you wanted them to go.
I could be lured into a conversation this week that could have volatile effects. That didn't happen. I might be tempted to talk about a controversial matter if somebody raises the issue, simply because I might assume they are finally ready to discuss it. But they may not be ready, and it may just be a trick to instigate trouble. Okay, I don't know.
I'm not liking this stuff.
As a last-ditch effort this week to save a faltering endeavor may leave me feeling frustrated. It may not work, but that is not necessarily a bad thing. It may actually make room for something that could be much better for me. And once someone with influence sees that you have some time open up, they may approach you with a wonderful offer. That's nothing like that has happened this week at all. Let's see what's going to happen next week for me. A very busy week lies ahead of me next week. Shocking. Shocking. But it's a good and kind of and happy kind of busy time. I will work on things that I not only enjoy, but promise to make my life richer and better.
Okay, the house
stuff. Okay. It's also a great week to streamline existing everyday chores that tend to be cumbersome. I have been looking up just like a chore routine and stuff for the house.
Which I want us to do.
Yes.
I'm supporting you in this.
Yes, I know. I
may
find myself in a situation where I can learn a valuable skill that will be important to me in the future. I need to take advantage of new opportunities that come up. And I'll have a lot of restless energy toward the end of the week. So I gotta do something that alleviates my restlessness. Or I can wind up feeling anxious.
We'll still be working in the house.
Yeah. Oh, but I should maybe take a bike ride at lunch or hit the gym or take a walk in a pretty area.
Well, we did talk.
Help me burn the energy.
We did talk about how this week we are going to start up with the exercise.
I did talk about that.
We did talk about that. All right, so let's do me.
It's your turn. All right.
I want to know.
We'll start with your dark side.
All right. What am I? What's my dark side?
All right. So just your description from your dark side.
All right. This is my description.
All right.
Okay. What am I?
For Cancer.
Okay.
Cancer. You're a feminine cardinal water sign,
ruled
by the moon.
There's nothing that describes me more than
directly
effeminate.
opposite Capricorn. The Cancer, the crab, which frets and snaps behind the sun at this time of year. Any time of the year, I guess. On the dark side, this makes you a grumpy, secretive, passive-aggressive grudge hoarder with bipolar mood swings and a positive genius for pointless worrying.
Okay, yeah, that's spot on. That's spot on. I have thought, I'm like, maybe I need to go see if I'm like bipolar or something, because will have, I'm like, all of a sudden I'm just like, I'm just depressed. The world is dark.
I'm trying to get to your, on this one app, but because it doesn't fit.
Just keep it going.
It doesn't fit the iPad
Pisces,
very
keep it going.
well.
Aries, Taurus, Gemini. Oh. Keep it going. Virgo, that's you.
Go back one.
Leo.
Go back two.
Cancer, that's me.
All right. So you're
the week that just ended.
No, today's horoscope today This is just the one app, and then I'll do the other app. Okay. For Sunday, June 4th, 2023. You'll feel motivated to get organized within your dreams today, as the Sagittarius moon aligns with responsible Saturn. All right. However, a dash of cosmic tension could skew your perspective, causing you to see obstacles rather than opportunities if you're not careful. Consider treating yourself to a healthy yet luxurious lunch.
Okay, I did have pulled pork barbecue with some delicious Carolina Gold barbecue sauce that your mom and dad got me. So,
which encourages you to embrace wellness and decadence.
Well, it was more decadent than wellness.
Themes around health will continue into the evening as the full health, drinking alcohol midday Sunday, continue into the evening. We're going to have more drinks later as the full moon rises overhead, asking you to meditate on your physical goals throughout the next 6 months and what habits that may need changing.
Okay, in all honesty, look at me. Have I meditated on my physical health at all recently?
Seems like a loaded question.
I have not. And wow.
I haven't worked out for like 3 weeks or a month because of the move.
Okay, all right. I haven't worked out since January.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, actually I did at your parents a little bit. I did. Not as much as I wanted to. All right, so... Okay. Awesome.
All right, are you ready for your second daily horoscope?
Is this the week coming up?
This is your daily, and then I'll do your weekly and then your
Okay.
next one.
All right.
Okay. Apparently, there's also a monthly, but I didn't touch that. Have you ever thought about someone, and then a few seconds later they call you?
No. No, I have never... I have never thought that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Federico's also a Cancer.
Yeah.
He says physical shape, sphere is perfection. And sphere is perfection.
Sphere,
Sphere is the least energetic state.
I do like sphere.
Sphere is perfection.
Like sphere.
You're right, Federico.
Federico, yeah.
It's the kind
Wait a
of...
minute, what? I think of somebody and they call me?
It's the kind of intuition that often exists between two people who know each other well and care about each other. But sometimes that happens without a call. Sometimes we become so caught up in the daily grind that we don't either recognize or capitalize on those moments of intuition that tells us to reach out to someone or that someone needs us. If your sixth sense is speaking to you quietly now, Moonchilds, are we in the never-ending story? Pay attention. There may be a message you need to hear from someone you love.
Okay, so they're saying that I need for them to...
Someone is trying to reach out to you, and you need to intuit.
But I'm cool if they don't, also.
I don't know.
So I'm fine basically either way.
Yeah, I guess
so. Basically, this person I love, I don't care if you contact me or not.
All right, here's for this previous week.
What, Brandon?
What, Brandon?
Oh, I'm feeling something.
Guess it. Guess what he needs. What does Brandon need from you?
Brandon needs to come to Oak Ridge on July 4th weekend. So everybody can see him when we do a podcast. Podcast weekend.
All right. Here's your horoscope for this week we've just had. We're at the end of the week.
That we just had. Okay.
May 29th through June 4th.
And just remember, we have all kinds of data points, whether or not it's true or not.
Yeah, because we're at the end of the week. Everything should feel peaceful, happy, safe, and secure in your life now, dear Moonchild.
How am I a Moonchild?
And for once in your life, you are actually very present for this realization and very grateful for it, too. This is actually an occasion that should be celebrated, for you have learned a life lesson that will be amazingly valuable to the rest of your life. Yes, something wonderful has happened, and it happens to be something that you were quite worried about.
Okay, I do wonder if Brandon called me. I don't have my phone, so I
don't know. Let this be a milestone in your personal evolution. Around the middle of the week...
Okay, Wednesday.
It might seem like a lot of things are going wrong. These are insignificant in the big scheme of things. And you need to adopt that perspective. Were things going wrong in the middle of the week? Just deal with each irritating issue one at a time and check them off your list of things to do with a smile. Something may get lost in translation in a conversation between you and a boss or a family member who is rather controlling. I feel targeted now. Wait a minute. It would be easy to just walk away angry.
If you had not said or family member. If you had not said that, it would have just been, okay, my boss Greg, alright, I don't know, but then you said family member controlling. I'm sorry, that's so funny.
It would be easy to just walk away angry, but that wouldn't be productive. In fact, doing that can make your role far more frustrating than it has to be. Be patient and talk it out. It is likely going to be a simple misunderstanding that can be resolved immediately upon clarification.
Okay, let's talk about where we want to take these pictures. No, that's just so funny. So
I know I'm controlling.
No, you're not controlling. No, it's not controlling. Controlling is not the right word. It's just that there are two people that have very, hey, I want this to be here. No, it's not controlling.
Controlling.
That is so funny. It's so funny.
All right, well, let's go to...
What's next week?
Let's go to next week.
Hey, Federico, This is our week coming up.
You may feel as though you're receiving subtle messages from the universe.
What are you telling me?
Subtle, universal messages. Oh, Jack! Hey, Taurus hasn't been mentioned yet. We're gonna do chat horoscopes for those of you that don't have the same horoscopes in The Hangover.
I mean, you do tend to be a little passive when it comes to things.
Passive?
Sometimes, yeah, no, sometimes.
Or passive aggressive.
No, passive aggressive, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. I figured that was going to be.
Yeah, it goes with my controlling nature as a Virgo for perfectionism.
Oh, but you know what? I think that I'm a perfectionist with certain things.
You're not a Virgo. You don't know perfectionism.
Oh, wow.
See that Virgo dynamic right there? Take control.
Oh,
I gotta take control.
But I allowed you to do a few things.
You allowed me to take control.
The planetarium shows, and I'm like, I don't know.
It all worked out
perfect.
Fine. All worked out fine. All right. Okay. Next week, universe is sending you some fucking signs, subtle messages. Feels like intuition, Moonchild. And they're telling you that everything's going to be all right. They're telling you that no matter what you've been through recently, and no matter how strongly it felt like the world was against you, things are most definitely looking up.
Okay.
Let's see. And things aren't just getting a little better. They're getting significantly better.
Ooh.
To the point where you will feel lucky to be you.
What does that mean?
Well, let's find out. Even if in those moments when you jump to a negative interpretation of something that happens, you need to choose to look at the hopeful possibility instead. You are gaining your power and therefore becoming extraordinarily powerful.
Okay.
This week will also be auspicious for anything to do with money.
Well, I do get paid this week.
I was wondering for when there was going to be a money thing.
I get paid this week.
You may learn of money coming to you, or you could even experience good luck that involves greater financial security.
Is it time to play the lottery?
I don't know, because we pay more now for our house. Significantly.
Oh, but I do get paid this week.
But your love life's heating up too.
Okay, I don't mean to laugh.
Whatever is it. We've been married how many years? Let's see. I look at my watch as if that's a...
It'll be 7 years this year. Thank you.
Whatever is important to you in your romantic life, you can expect it to get dramatically better.
Oh boy!
I feel targeted.
What?
What
does that even mean?
I just mean that there's only one component to your love life, And
yeah.
It's me.
Okay.
So I'm getting dramatically better. The only possible downside to the week ahead may be an ongoing grudge or battle between you and someone you care about. This may take a lot longer to heal if it ever does. Be extra careful not to do something you will deeply regret later in this regard.
Wow.
So your love life is heating up, but don't fuck it up.
But I don't have a grudge.
I don't know. I don't... Look.
What grudge do I have? Okay.
I don't know. Look, these are written in the stars. All right? All right?
All right, anyway. Should we call it?
Yeah, let's we'll continue.
We're an hour and 40 minutes into this amazing episode.
We'll continue into the hangover with more horoscopes and some astrology bashing. Okay, so Federico in chat says the best horoscope he had was in high school, his high school days. While having breakfast in the morning, it said, "You are going to have a child." After cleaning coffee from the floor and made a call, never trust them.
You know, that
in
is
high school. You're going to have
exactly
a child.
what every high school kid wants to hear.
Yeah.
You're going to have a child.
And then you have just every high schooler going, "Oh, fuck." And then they're trying to think, did I use pullout? Was I wearing a condom?
Imagine.
Did I take my birth control pill?
But imagine being 10 years old, reading that, going, you're going to have a kid.
Why were you saying 10? He said he was in high school.
Well, no. But he read a horoscope.
Yeah.
So anybody can have that horoscope.
Anybody.
So you're like a 5-year-old in first grade here in the United States. You're going to have a child. Okay, all right. You're in third grade. You can read some of those words. You're going to have a kid. What is
what? What?
What is this 8-year-old? I mean, are they thinking, oh, I'm going to have my Barbie dolls? These are my kids? Oh, man. All right.
Wow. I mean, okay. Look, okay.
Oh, Federico. Did you have that kid, by the way?
Later on, I'm sure, when he's...
No, high school, he's going to have a kid.
Oh, no.
Watch him say, I actually had my first kid when I was 18.
No judgment, Federico.
No judgment, man.
Yeah. So I would say, look, at the end of the day, we are logically, scientifically based people, so astrology is bullshit. Okay, but there is a long history, a very long ancient history to astrology that was fundamental to these ancient civilizations and how they interacted, how they related to the universe around them. I mean, you got to think about ancient people in Babylonia or even Egypt, Greece, Rome. They don't have city lights all over the place. They don't have all these big buildings. They don't have things that are disconnecting them from the night sky, from this sort of perspective and utilization of things beyond them. You know, whereas today, people hardly ever think about planets or the stars because we can't see them. We don't really notice them. We don't pay attention. We have too many things going on. We have so much ADHD in our society, and and just in a general, and not as a prescribed, ADHD or ADD.
We're MTV generation. Everything needs to be in 3-minute clips.
Everything needs, yes, we our attention spans, and it's been scientifically proven that the attention span is like 7 seconds, and this is my knowledge from maybe years ago, so I don't know if that's decreased, which I'm sure it has, so the point is that the things that are only you control your life, okay? Your decisions,
we gotta take
is that
a drink,
but
I don't have a drink anymore.
Does that count as a dog bark?
It was
a dog growl. All right, drink for the growl of it. I guess I can't get my iPad to work now, but
Well, that's good. The sea breeze is good.
Oh, maybe it got disconnected there.
All right, just take a drink. Don't worry about it. Take a drink. Oh, there we go.
Okay. Yeah, sea breeze is good. I've been drinking it.
All right.
But at the end of the day,
Jack, don't interrupt me anymore.
You're in control of your life. You're in control of your decisions. You have your perspective, and it's your kind of responsibility to empathize and to see other perspectives and to negotiate the world around you as you see fit. There's no sun in moon in Sagittarius or Saturn and Mars aligning or whatever that's going to do anything for you. So while the history and the historical context of astrology is legitimate, not in an astrological sense, but in just a historical way of how people tried to connect with the universe and make meaning of their life or try to understand the universe around them is reasonable and understandable and part of human psychology. Today, astrology means nothing. It's not something you should invest.
Entertainment.
It's entertainment. Don't invest your hard-earned money into this.
Definitely don't put money into it.
Don't make huge life decisions based on your daily, weekly, monthly
or
horoscope or
with
numerology or some natal birth chart or whatever. Because that is not going to benefit you because you're not making a rational, logical decision on anything. Okay, so while it's fun to read your daily horoscope, that's all it is. It's fun. It's entertainment. It's just a gimmick, essentially. And that's what it is. It's a gimmick.
And I think Federico has the perfect way to end this.
Okay.
So as I answered the question in a planetarium about astrology, quote unquote, this is from
This is
Federico.
really good, actually, yeah.
The only horoscope you must trust is the one you write yourself in the morning.
Boom.
Yep.
That is fantastic.
That
write your own motherfucking horoscope.
Yep. That is the perfect ending of this.
So thanks for joining us, everyone. You can follow us on all the things. Follow us on Twitter at Cosmos to Cosmos. I'm sorry, at Drinking Cosmos. Clearly, drinks has been had. Cosmos.
And we're gonna have more.
We're gonna have more. Cosmos to Cosmos. Everywhere else, you can listen to us on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, or check us out on YouTube. And we appreciate you hanging out with us.
Yeah, thanks for. We're almost 2 hours in this. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. We'll see
cheers,
you.
everybody. We'll see you in 2 weeks
time.
where we're talking about space gays.
Space gays! Gays in space.
Gays in space. Cheers. Happy Pride, everybody.
If you're with us now, stick around for The Hangover, where we read your horoscopes. But we will be right back for that.
In about 5 minutes. Cheers.
Hey, welcome back!
Hey, everybody. There was like this. Oh, but you know what's great is like Orion held up the whole time for the main episode.
Oh, it did. It didn't fall down.
But it will now.
Welcome to The Hangover with Cosmos. Our main episode this time was Astrology, so...
Yes.
Hold on your butts, because we're gonna read more horoscopes.
We're gonna read more horoscopes.
We got let's go through some comments here while we were at Jack. Jack has joined us.
Kayaking, fishing, grilling on a high school graduation camping trip.
That's awesome. I think my high school trip was just to like Great America, maybe a theme park.
Really?
We had there was like some picnic at the park that was next to the school, and then I didn't go to the graduation. After graduation, it was like a night party, evening. I say party, but it's from the high school, so it's not a party. On some, I don't know, some
boat?
Like battleship.
Yeah, you told me
in
that
San
was on a
Francisco.
boat.
It was some boat, like some military vessel. I can't remember what it was, but I did not go to that. But yeah, I believe Great America was
for my high school. There was no trip.
No,
but what we all did after, and I guess maybe this is a trip, but it's not organized or anything like this.
Brandon's comment. You continue yours, and then we'll read Brandon.
It was called First Week at the Beach. First Week, for short. And we just all went to Myrtle Beach.
Oh.
For a week. And it was just...
For a week?
Everybody was drunk as fuck.
Wow. Ours was just like a day trip to...
No, it was.
An amusement park.
But this was not obviously organized by the high school.
Yeah, oh, okay.
Yeah.
That sounds great. Brandon said his high school stormed the Capitol for a graduation party.
And by that, it was one person.
It was the shaman,
But it was enough. It was the shaman. All
right. Obviously, years later.
Let's do more.
No, you have a story to tell.
Okay, all
Mike
right.
has a story to tell astrology.
This is not a big. It's not a big story, so don't think that. But it was. I was at the Gibbs Planetarium in Columbia, South Carolina. May Gibbs Planetarium rest in peace, because it's no longer.
Oh.
Yeah, it was part of the Columbia Museum of Art.
Mm-hmm. That's a random museum.
It is, and so it was built in 1950. So it had this real back when there was a lot of money being given out because of Sputnik. And,
it's like science.
Yeah, and so it was a plaster dome, and if it rained really, really, really hard, it could become a little wet on the inside and that type of thing.
Shit.
So.
That's cool.
Going to Toronto to ride roller coasters is cool.
Wow.
And so this guy who believed in astrology came, and at the end of the show, which I tended to do even in my Gibbs days, was like, hey, let's talk. Let's if you got any questions, ask me. And
I think
whatever.
that's a good mark of a planetarium show, is to ask the audience for questions and engage with them.
And so this guy is walking out, so everybody's leaving, and talking about how wants to talk about astrology and that type of thing. And I'm in my 20s, and it's all about physics at that point, and it still is. But I asked a question. Because I really do want an astrologer person to explain this to me. So if the universe is governed by forces, and these forces are transmitted via by particles, force particles. So for electromagnetism, it would be the photon, and so forth and so on. And I just asked them, what is the force particle that goes from Jupiter to me to govern my life in some kind of way? And it was a simultaneous look of glazing over and, oh shit, I talked to the wrong person.
That was, oh shit, I talked to somebody who's knowledgeable in science.
Yeah, and is not really going to take your bullshit.
Yeah.
And is going to say, okay, defend your position.
Yes, because at the end of the day, you're making a claim that you have to prove that claim. The onus of proof is on you, creationists.
And the way I phrased it wasn't shitty, and it wasn't...
It was a simple scientific question. Okay.
Yeah, and so what is the force particle that allows Jupiter or the moon, which is in Sagittarius when it's not, to affect me in any kind of way? And how does it do it? What's the mechanics of this? And it was almost like I can't get out of here soon enough. Well, it was great talking to you. See you later.
So he didn't even try. Didn't even try. Wow. Federico in chat says, funny story, he had an astrologer during one of his life planetarium shows contesting and questioning at the beginning almost everything, and then after 27, some say that someone was running out crying. I mean, that's the thing though. If somebody is knowledgeable enough in science, or I will say astronomy, like you can't, astrologers, I'm going to just say a blanket statement, I'm going to generalize that astrologers don't have the astronomical knowledge to back anything they say up, because there is no science that's going to validate what they're saying and be able to prove it, be able to back up those claims. Because I mean, you got to also think about these horoscopes, these daily horoscopes apply to, I mean, you're saying this horoscope is for all Virgos, all Cancers, all etceteras, which is a variety of different people in different circumstances, experiencing different things. So how can that possibly relate to anybody? And that's why most horoscopes tend to be so generic.
It is so generalized.
Because it has to apply to everybody, basically. Whether you're a Virgo or not, the Virgo horoscope has to be so generic that anybody can find some sort of meaning in it because they're looking for it. Because anybody who's reading a horoscope or is reading who's into whatever, they are looking for a specific thing, or they're reading into a specific thing. They're automatically putting it into a context of their own experience and their own life. And so anything generic enough can translate. They can interpret that to fit their needs, to fit what they're looking for. They can cherry pick what's in there to be relatable.
Right.
There's nothing like, you are going to meet a man that is 6 foot with brown hair and blue eyes at 6:58 p.m. on Friday, June 26th, and this will be the love of your life. Like, there's nothing that is so specific to anybody in these, because they can't. And so it's kind of like, what is, like, my mom just brings up in chat, tarot cards. Tarot cards are so, and I didn't do any research on tarot cards. I didn't look up tarot cards at all, because that's a kind of a completely different pseudo bullshit. Real bullshit, not pseudo bullshit. It's real bullshit. It's such a generic thing. You get the death card. You could just say something generic, and anybody that's kind of associated
you get death card, you're gonna die. Well, you know what?
Everybody's dying, or maybe somebody's known somebody that died, or there's somebody that has an illness in their family, or there's like.
Well, let me say this to Federico's comment. Federico says basically, why hasn't an astrologer ever received the Nobel Prize in physics? And they should, since they have forces that are instantaneous and not depending on mass or distance. So basically, anything relativistic, anything Einstein, well, you just overturned Einstein. with that. And so if astrology was ever shown to be a correct interpretation of the universe,
there should be.
You would get the Nobel Prize.
There should be a Nobel Prize.
It's like if a physicist proved the existence of God, which is not to be fair and to be honest, the physicists don't give a shit about that. That is not what
they're looking for. They're looking for various bosons.
Well, yeah, pretty much. As much as religious people like to say science is after them, science doesn't give a fuck. So whatever. But yeah, an astrologer would get a Nobel Prize.
It's
if an astrologer made that prediction that you just said, I mean, give them a Nobel Prize for it. They can't. They can't make that.
It also falls along the same terms as psychics and that kind of thing. Where, like Houdini, it was Houdini and his wife that had a code word, and they were both into psychics and what are they called?
What are in a circle?
It starts with an S. So help us out, chat. Seance. My brain was stuck on serenade. My brain was stuck on serenade, and I was like, this is not the word I'm looking for. A seance that at that time in the early 1900s, seances were huge.
In the 1800s,
hugely popular. End of 1800s, early 1900s, hugely popular. And so, who was I talking about? Houdini and his wife. They were into them, and so they were like, okay, there's a code word, so that if they get the code word, then it's real. And no seance leader, whatever they're called, ever was able to get the code word to Houdini's wife after he had passed. And so it was like, well, then it was like seances are bullshit because they had that kind of like test there to see, because he would be like, if I died, I'm gonna try and come back, I'm gonna try and be a ghost, I'm gonna try and communicate somehow, way, shape, or form, and this is what the code that I'm gonna use. And there was nothing, there was no proven nothing. That never came up, and it's the same with astrology. Thank you, Sam's first generation Zoom call. Well, there's no basis of reality in it. There's no scientific principle behind it other than, the sun is in whatever constellation right now because the sun moves through all constellations at a certain time of the year, because that's how orbital dynamics works.
Yeah.
And it means nothing to the billions of people. Alcohol's kicking in. People on this planet that you have. How many? I wonder how many people were born in September that are Virgos on this planet.
Well, you could say, all right, there's 12 billion people. Divide that by 12.
How many people?
7 billion people are on the planet.
Okay, I thought you said there's 12 billion people.
No. And divide
I was like, wait a minute.
And divide that by 12. So what is that? I can't do the math all of a sudden.
Oh, what? Oh my God.
With 500 million?
So if you have
about 500 million people.
500 million people that are Virgos that are all getting the same horoscope, that makes absolutely no sense, because everybody's life is specific to them. Their experiences are specific to them. Their relationships, it's all specific to that individual. There's no possible way for something to be.
I can't help but go back to Federico. The only horoscope you must trust is the one you write yourself in the morning.
Yeah, because
that is just the most perfect.
But I get it, because people want to know. We, as human beings, our psychology, we want to know what has happened. We want to know what the future holds. We want to know a why for the things we don't understand. Input religion. We want to. Evolutionarily, our brains have gotten to the point where we can't accept not understanding something. Like it's like an OCD thing. Like we're all OCD for understanding.
Yeah, there's a great Pennywise punk song called "Living for Today."
Not Fuck Authority? Not your favorite? Fuck Authority?
No, Fuck Authority is my favorite, but "Living for Today" really is a philosophical statement where you just live for today.
Yeah, carpe diem.
Carpe diem, but it's so hard. It's so hard though to not think about the future. Mm-hmm. It's hard to live in the moment. Mm-hmm. And you want to know, what does the future hold? Because
it's scary. It's fear-based. It's like you don't know. You want to be happy. You want things to work out. And you want more money. You want whatever you want in life, your goals. And so it's like a fear of not getting that, or not reaching your potential, or just insecurities that is preyed upon by these astrologers.
Yeah, Science, in my opinion, and this goes to kind of, sort of Federico's, and I'm 3 drinks into this whole podcast.
Yeah, I'm going to read Federico, I'm going to read what you chatted.
Go ahead.
Oh, he said, Federico says, let's reverse the point of view. Why horoscopes are read more than scientific dissemination articles or similar, telling stories. It's all about, involving the audience, and why must work on that.
Yeah, in science, to me, science communicators have been terrible.
Yeah.
At the science.
Science is so it's like medical. Like it's not said in a way that just regular people can understand, or it's not not relatable.
But I think scientists, though, can tell that story.
They can.
But they feel like that they are so above this. And, that they...
An ego?
Well, yeah. And the thing is that, like, the Tysons and the Greens and all of these, and Sagan, the communicators that we think of for science, as wonderful as they are, they don't reach the people.
Yeah. Well, I would say, like, Tyson's kind of an ass and is very, like, arrogant and stuff, which
but Neil.
He has a right to be. It's fine. But then you have, like, I would say, like, the Bill Nyes or the Phil Plates that bring it down a little bit more closer to the general public to be relatable by death by an death from the skies for Phil Plate's book. Like, it makes it more exciting and entertaining.
But that's for exciting and entertaining for us.
But I'm saying that science. Okay, well,
it scares the shit out of some people.
Yeah, but the gimmick of horoscopes is because it's personable, it's relatable, it's like, this is for you. This is for you, even though it's for 500 million people. It's for you.
It's like your mom said, make it personal.
Yeah, so I think that,
you can't do that with science.
It's harder with science, but it can be, I think, be made more relatable on how it affects you and kind of, but also, at least in America, for Americans don't want to have to think too hard about anything. Like, we really just want things just put it in our brains in an easy way, and I think that, like, people like Nye and Phil Plait, they do a better job of that than the Tysons or the Greens, where Tyson's is just like a physicist explaining, like a very, like, he's very like condescending about it.
Don't physicist explain
it to me. Whereas, like, not if you think of Bill Nye in America, I don't know how Bill Nye translates to the rest of the world because I only have my perspective of it. But Bill Nye is like a fun, relatable figure that makes science more fun and engaging by bringing it to a real world, especially in his, like, Netflix series that he has. He makes it in a kind of it's more friendly. It's friendly to the general public.
Right, but the thing is with Bill Nye, though, is we relate to him because we see Bill Nye as a nerd or geek.
Right.
Geek.
But nerds and geeks are cool now.
But that's how we identify ourselves.
Yeah,
and so, like, when like, I see myself as a nerd or geek, whatever, but because...
No, you're a jock. You played football in high school.
Oh, God.
You jock.
But, I am more than that because
Yeah,
I was also
I guess,
a punk and I hated.
I guess I'm looking at it, but I would say like I wasn't really like I was interested in astronomy, but didn't because I don't have the math skills or the math brain.
You don't need math.
No, but okay, but astronomy it's made to seem as like you need to be able to do math stuff, which my brain is not math wired, so it takes me longer, and because it takes me longer, I get insecure, and so then I give up. And so then I just rely on other people to do my math for me.
Yeah, the irony in all this? The irony in all this is if you're driving a car and you're behind another car.
Actually, I drive like this.
And the car in front of you hits its brakes. Or you don't even have to have a car in front of you. You see a stoplight and it turns red or yellow. I mean, if it's yellow, you just blow right through it.
You go through it.
But if it turns red, your brain generally does the calculus that allows you to put the correct pressure on the brakes to stop the car. So it does the math that you say that you can't do. Your brain is doing it every single time you get in a car or that you do other stuff.
You don't realize it.
And you just don't realize it.
Yeah.
Your brain is wired for the math, and you just tell yourself you can't do it. But you can.
Yeah, but because I'm not doing any calculations, I just
know your brain
is
doing the calculations.
Yeah.
It is.
So it's instinct and doing
otherwise,
calculations are the same thing.
If your brain misses the calculation, you do not apply the brakes correctly enough to be able to stop.
I mean, sometimes that happens.
That is true. That is true, and sometimes you do hit something. But I think that what in this country, in the United States, has happened is math has become this really, I can't do it. It has become a scary word.
Yeah, no, math has always been scary. Throughout all my schooling, math was scary.
Is you and your mom, when we play Uno,
count on her fingers.
And when we play Yahtzee, is you guys can do it. You can do it.
Yeah.
It really does kind of drive me crazy.
Okay, look, I'm too lazy. I don't want to take the time. All right, I just want somebody to answer it for me because it takes me. But I do think brains are wired differently, and with math comes easier to some than others because I can't. Because I'm more of a visual person.
I'm visual too.
I need to, and it's harder for me to visualize numbers and how they relate versus other things. So it takes me longer to kind of. Like there are things I have memorized, like 5 + 6 is 11, which is a random one, but for some reason that's been ingrained in me. So it just takes me longer, and that time I need for my brain to get it and to think through it in order to get the numbers and visualize it makes me insecure, and so it makes me shut down and makes me I get that. Feel insecure, and so then I need some help.
No, but you see, I think I really think that you have it. I have been really lucky.
I mean, I know I can do it. I mean, I remember getting A's in algebra at some point, and that sort of thing. It's just that I don't want to. I'm lazy, and I don't want to have to take the time to do it or figure it out.
Yeah,
because it doesn't come as fast to me as it does to you.
Well,
for example.
Okay, but here's the thing, though. It's like for me personally, I'm visual like you, and that is part of the profession that I work in, planetarium field.
Yeah. But like my visual is like I have to picture things. Like picture things.
No, when you're visual, you have to picture things. It's not. Yeah. And so when I was in college and I was taking a calculus class.
Never taken calculus, so I don't know what this even entails in calculus, other than squiggly lines.
Squiggly lines. But I did have a... so integrals are basically, there will be an equation within an integral. And that equation will be a curve. Okay? But you know what a curve means. You know what a curved line looks like.
It's not a straight line.
Right.
Yeah.
And so what integral calculus
Should
does.
we say you're curved and not straight?
That's pretty funny. That's really funny. Happy Pride, everybody!
To all the curved out there. To all those curves.
Cheers.
Cheers.
We're all curved.
Now all curvy people are like, wait a minute.
We're all curved. All right, but anyway, integration is just figuring out the area underneath that curve. And what a professor said made just so much sense to me because I could visualize it. Mm-hmm. And basically he said, what you're trying to do is trying to paint underneath that curve and figure out the area like we're going to do with our fence, right?
What you're going to do with our fence.
Right. Well, what I'm going to do with our fence. But instead of having a brush with 1,000 bristles, or whatever those
bristles,
things,
yes.
bristles,
correct.
You just have one in it, and I could visualize what that meant in the integration. And we don't have to get into it now.
Yeah, okay.
Or any other time. Yeah. But I was able to understand visually what that meant. And it was, and I don't think that professor really understood the significance of that one statement that he made. But it just worked for me. And I was able to visualize it. And it's not like I needed an analogy like that for calculus, and calculus is the language
that I don't understand.
Whether you want it to be or not. Calculus is mathematics is the language of physics, and so with physics though, it's not algebra. You can do algebraic physics.
A plus B. A plus
basically
C
it's very linear.
Y equals.
Yeah. So it's very linear.
Letters. You got to figure out what the letter equals.
Yeah, so basically, velocity is equal to acceleration times time. It's a very linear statement. But that's only true if you have, constant acceleration, which is not really necessarily the way the universe works. And so you do need calculus or variations of calculus, differential equations, and things like that, which is all based on calculus. And so that one statement allowed me to understand what integration was, which allowed me to take the next step in understanding, physics and astronomy and things like that. And so I do think that physicists, professors need to, in college, I think it's easy for a professor to, I'm just going to teach people what I know, and then I'm going to go back to my research. But but if you do want to have the next generation become physicists or astronomers or engineers, whatever, you do need to be cognizant.
Paint a picture.
You do need. Oh, well done. You need to paint the picture for the person that, because we all have different learning styles.
Well, yeah, and that's been proven.
All right, can we do something?
What are we gonna do?
We're going to, because this is the only person where I kind of know their birthday. I do know their birthday.
I would like to I want to piggyback onto Jack answered Federico, and I just want to say Bill is he is a scientist. He is an engineer. He has a total understanding of science and how the scientific method works and everything. So he is a legitimate, actual...
Yeah.
He may not be active in any research at the moment.
No, he was an engineer.
But he was an engineer. He has the basis of scientific understanding, and so I think he's a very good advocate and very good, and has the persona in order to communicate science effectively and in a way that is relatable to the general public, rather than being condescending or talking down to people or using language that is just above what regular people are going to understand. He's he's like a common guy that knows his shit. And is actually a bona fide, scientist. Yeah. So for Federico, back off Bill Nye. All right. I mean, look, I'm gonna fluff my hair over Bill Nye. All right, he's a national treasure. All right, we got Tom Hanks. We got Tom Hanks, and we got Bill Nye. All right.
Yeah. And we got Liz Davison.
No.
But I mean, really and truly for the U.S., the only reason why the U.S. and I hate saying this. Oh,
I don't know what you're saying, but all right, I'm gonna cringe with you.
Is the leader that we are
Ugh.
in science?
No.
In science, it's a numbers game. We have 350 million people in this country. Oh,
because we got more people.
We got a lot of people.
Yeah.
And so even if a small percentage of those people are very intelligent and...
Oh, Federico's a mechanical engineer. You're a scientist, Federico.
The only reason why that even a very small percentage of 350 million people is a lot of people.
I'm sorry, Jack asked, have we ever seen Tom Hanks and Bill Nye in the same room at the same time?
No,
that would be amazing.
We have not.
Tom
They're
Hanks
the
should be
same
on
person.
Bill Nye's show.
They're the same person.
They would be phenomenal together. Oh my god.
So it's a numbers game. We have 350 million people in this country. We have 400 million guns. So I don't know if necessarily if this is a good thing, but
well, that part's not.
It's a numbers thing. It's a numbers game, and we have 350 million people. So we have even a small percentage of that, or if you have them become physicists and scientists in some sort of way. Is this boring you?
No.
That we end up being a leader. As opposed to a small country that only has maybe 3 million people in it.
Right.
And so that's the only thing that allows us to put a man on the moon. I think.
And calculators.
They didn't have calculators. They had slide rules.
And it's a form of calculator.
It is okay. True.
And
we had human calculators. Hidden
Black
figures.
women.
Oh.
Black women are integral to humanity landing on the moon. If black women led every aspect of this world would A, not take shit, and B, be the best world ever.
Didn't we say that the other night?
We said that the other night. Black women are key to everything.
Making the world a better place.
Making the world a better place and being smarter and not taking shit. Black women.
So all you neo-Nazis.
Fuck off.
Fuck off. Fuck off.
All right, let's get into some fun. Let's read some horoscopes.
All right, do Katie's.
Katie is a Taurus. Apparently Federico is
he's also a Cancer, so we've done him.
So we've done Federico.
So we need to know Jack and we need to know Adam.
Jack is a Taurus. Obviously my mom's a Virgo. I say obviously, but my mom and my dad and me all are September birthdays. So
we need Katie and we need Adam.
When's Adam's birthday?
And Jack. We need Jack as well.
Yeah, no, Jack said no.
No, Federico
said he was a Cancer.
Me and Federico.
Yeah. No, Taurus, I think Jack is a Taurus. I think Jack said he was a Taurus, like Katie.
Really? So, okay.
Oprah for president. Oprah's too.
Yeah, no. Taurus and Capricorn.
All right, Taurus. Here's one of yours. Daily horoscope for today. You'll be in a mysterious and private mood this morning.
Were you?
As the Sagittarius moon blows a kiss to
which is in Libra
to Chiron, though you may find yourself more.
Chiron? What? Oh, okay. The Sagittarius moon blows a kiss to Pluto's moon? Or do we not even blow a kiss to Pluto?
Which is Pluto's moon.
Okay. Oh no! Is that an asteroid? Is Charon that's that's the moon?
Yeah.
All right, anyway.
Okay. Brandon's comment. Though you may find yourself more closed off than usual, the fiery and adventurous nature of this cosmic climate again, will leave you craving fun as long as you maintain a tight and trustworthy circle. How'd your D&D game go last night? Excitement will find you this afternoon when Mercury aligns with Uranus. And random encounters could lead to new friendships and fascinating discussions. Consider taking a break from your electronics later tonight when Luna, the moon, squares off with Neptune. You could begin to feel disconnected from the present. So, Katie, knock off the electronics. And Jack, shut down your computers.
So, the moon's hanging out with Chiron, and then it's also going to be taking a blows with Neptune.
Yeah, it's hanging out with Neptune later.
All right.
Katie says it was good last night. They had a gold whale that spits out more gold. Oh, that's a fun.
That's always good.
Can
we get that in real life?
All right. So, this other app. Okay, Taurus for today, and then I'll do your next week, your this week and the next week. All right. So
this is getting Jack and Katie.
And this is getting Jack and Katie. Jack and Katie. You may be feeling that the contribution you've made to a group you belong to at work or elsewhere,
or D&D,
is simply not enough. You may think that what you have to offer pales in comparison to what other people bring to the table. I feel like I don't know Jack that well as far as his personality, but I feel like Katie. I feel like this could resonate with Katie a little bit. But you could not be more wrong because you're awesome and amazing.
Is that what it says?
No, but you could not be more wrong. While you may not feel fireworks going off around what you are sharing, your contribution is important and you will soon prove yourself to be. Don't diminish yourself by feeling like you're not good enough. If you remain patient and proud of what you have to offer, you will notice that really does have substance.
That's very broad, very general, but that actually is just good. I like that one. All
right. You know what? Since we've already done this week, I'm going to do next week for you, Katie. Next week. For this upcoming week, starting tomorrow through June 11th. You may come upon something you see as valuable, but is seen as nothing special by the owner.
Wait a minute, what?
She's going to come upon something, or Jack's going to come upon something that is seen as, they see as valuable, but the owner of said item or something does not.
What if they own it?
See, if you have interest in it and see it as a treasure, then express how you feel. It could become yours. You may be getting frustrated with the details of a project that isn't coming together, no matter how you tried. It's like a puzzle that seems to be missing a few pieces. We've dealt with that. You may lack the experience that is needed to complete your task, but there may be someone nearby that you can turn to for guidance. Well, Katie started a new job, so maybe there's something she doesn't know, so she's going to seek to someone who's been there for a bit for more information. I don't know how that relates to Jack, as he's got it down with what he's doing.
Well,
although I'm assuming school's
Jack's
ended,
got a new enterprise going.
Maybe. This person might be someone you find compelling. Concentrate on the latter attraction and try to overlook the rough edges. This could be someone you are meant to know. Someone may be planning a gathering that involves family or close friends. If you wish to get involved in the planning, volunteer with it. Go for it. If you want to get involved, do it.
What family thing are we planning?
Nothing. This could be a special experience that will draw you closer to people you care about, but don't get to interact with frequently enough.
Oh, you know what? We are planning to go see them in July because we're going to the punk show.
Yeah, but this is for next week.
Oh, that's true. Never mind. We're not planning anything.
This is irrelevant. Okay, let me go to Taurus's dark side here.
Yep.
Taurus's dark side. All right. Getting there. So many pages. All right, Taurus, your dark side. It's a feminine fixed earth sign ruled by Venus. Directly opposite Scorpio. It plods and bellows behind the sun at this time of year.
Plods and bellows.
On the dark side, Taurus, this makes you a stubborn, sybaritic, rut-bound bully fueled by dull resentment and an insatiable love of money.
You know, if there's anything that I have learned about Katie is she's a bully.
And Jack is that they're both bullies.
They're both bullies.
And they love money.
I mean, obviously, they had a gold whale.
Katie has been trying to learn things to help her at work, and Jack, a discarded winning lottery ticket. Love of money.
Love of money.
Love of money.
Damn bully.
All right, Sagittarius. No, wait. What did she say Adam was? Sagittarius?
Wait a minute, hold on. Jack's going to a workshop on getting people involved in OnlyFans.
Hey! And that's about money. Follow us on Patreon. No, we don't have a Patreon.
We should get Patreon.
We do not have a Patreon. We don't have the Capricorn. All right, Capricorn, the sea goat. The sea goat.
Is Katie stubborn? I have never thought of Katie as being stubborn.
She's got some stubbornness in her.
Got some stubborn, really?
She's got it's not a Virgo, just a Virgo thing. It's just a. Oh no, that's Aries.
He's not Aries.
No,
he's Capricorn,
right? Capricorn. I gotta find Capricorn. He's the. Wait, Capricorn. Right, Sagittarius is the Archer.
While you look for it, I will read Brandon's thing about Capricorn.
Okay.
The stars say that you're an exciting and wonderful person, but you know I'm lying. If I were you, I'd lock my doors and windows and never leave my house. Adam, that's you, man.
I mean, that's a good rule just in general.
Yeah, we never leave our house unless we have to. Hey, have you not found it yet?
Hold on, what page is Capricorn on?
Well,
I'm trying to look for...
Katie going, who hurt you, Brandon? Meanwhile, Adam goes, that's me. Did you find it?
I'm almost there.
I went as slow as I could.
I know.
And I read comments and...
I'm trying.
This is where the
there
show
goes. All right.
We got there.
Capricorn, dark side Capricorn to start. It's a feminine cardinal earth sign.
So me, Katie,
ruled by Saturn,
and Adam are feminine.
Yeah, ruled by Saturn. Directly opposite Cancer.
Hey.
Opposite of Mike here.
I always felt like I couldn't understand Adam.
It bleats and backbites behind the sun this time of year.
What?
All times of the year.
Bleaches and...
I don't know. It's a goat. It's a sea goat. So Adam, this makes you cold, cruel, a petty-minded slave driver. I think that's inappropriate. I should have read that before I said it out loud. With unsuspected yet unquenchable ambition and an addiction to tight-fisted penny pinching.
Well,
wow, Adam.
He did.
Wow, Adam.
He bought his clothes from St. Vinny's.
Wow. All right, here's let me do this other horse.
I have never seen Adam like that.
Adam is, for those of you, Adam is just a very nice, wonderful human being to be around.
And can bake amazingly.
Bake like a motherfucker, let me tell you. He's fantastic. So Jesus.
Where are you going?
I'm trying to find Capricorn on this app, but it's not...
Well, keep going.
It's not like the best app because it doesn't fit the iPad appropriately.
Katie says there isn't anything negative about this man. I'll tell you.
I would say I have not seen... Oh, there we go. I have not seen anything negative about Adam, so... He's a real slave driver. God.
He hit me one time.
All right, here's from one app. Here's your horoscope for today, you Capricorns out there. Relish the joys only Sundays can bring. As the Sagittarius moon blows a kiss to Chiron again. These vibes are perfect for laying low, tending to your own needs, and embracing domestic bliss and plenty of yummy foods.
Well, okay. He can bake like a motherfucker, as you said.
A creative streak will find you this afternoon, when Mercury aligns with Uranus, bringing forth the artistic genius that lives within. Don't be afraid to express yourself through passion projects and hobbies right now, even if you're not the most skilled crafter. A hazy energy will fill the air this evening when Luna squares off with Neptune. Again, this battle with Neptune and the moon. Yeah. Giving you permission to turn off your devices and head to bed early. So both Katie and Adam need to turn off their devices. Apparently.
Yeah, but, okay, what are the odds of that, though?
From another app.
Slim.
From another app. Here's your horoscope. You may assume that the flattery you have recently received, which we just gave you, baking is a motherfucker. You can bake it like a motherfucker. Or are hearing now is happening just because someone wants to endear themselves to you.
I'm sorry. I'm reading what they're saying. Odds are low. It ain't happening. I'm grinding in Street Fighter. Okay,
we are endearing. Well, we're not endearing ourselves to Adam. We're speaking truth, and also Adam should be endearing himself to us because he's the he's coming into this family. You know what I'm saying? We don't need to endear ourselves to him. He needs our approval, which he has.
Okay, but what's crazy is as a person sort of kind of on the outside of, I'm part of the family but not part of the family, I didn't I've always thought of him as family once he came in.
Oh yeah, well of course you're outsiders, you need to align.
Okay, Adam. we need to align ourselves. What is it they say? Like in the circle, what is it?
In the circle? Oh, yeah, I don't know.
An alliance. We need to align. Adam, me and you are aligning.
All right, so you may not feel like it's the real thing, and so you're not taking it to heart. You can bake like a motherfucker. We love you. You're great. You're awesome. Take it to heart. We're being
But apparently
genuine.
you're still an outsider.
All right. But if this is the case, Capricorn, you are undervaluing yourself. Although there may be someone who would like to get closer to you, the feelings they are sharing are genuine. Both of these things can exist at the same time. The desire to know you and the desire to share what they feel about you. Take it to heart.
I like bald partners unite.
Yes!
Yeah, family
Only one of you can stand facial hair.
Oh, I cannot. I did. Oh, I get a few days in. I think 5 is the most I can go.
Let's see what's coming up for Adam next week.
Okay, next week.
What's coming up for you, Capricorns out there? This week may bring you the chance to do something you really want to do, Capricorn. Something you really want to do. All right, you may be skeptical about succeeding. All right, but this may involve a personal goal that you have reached for in the past, perhaps more than once without success.
Oh, what have you done?
What have you tried to bake
that has
not worked out?
This is the week to do it.
So your defenses are up naturally. You want to be hopeful, but you don't want to be disappointed. And getting this chance again could be excruciatingly disappointing if your efforts fail again. However, the more optimistic you are as you enter this, the greater your chances of success will be. That's how it works with everything. The more optimistic you are, then you're gonna succeed. That's how it works all the time. It's science, proven. Give it your all, including your positive mindset. You may experience a lot of nervous energy this week because of the above, and also because you have a lot on your plate at work and otherwise. Try shaking up your routine to restore some balance in your life. For example, if you're a night owl, get up early for a morning or two. And revel in the beauty of the sunrise. So we're talking real early. Get up real early.
Too bad we're not Capricorns, because we would have that in a bag.
No, we'd have to sleep in then. We'd have to change it up by sleeping in.
Oh, okay, I'm cool with that.
By changing things up a bit.
We did that this morning, though.
Yes, well, it's a weekend. You can get your footing a little better. Your emotional investment in someone who has disappointed you in the past may pay off this week or sometime soon. This person may have let you down, but you encouraged them and trusted them again anyway, and that benefit of the doubt will prove to be a very good choice.
All right, well, Adam can't do any baking because he has tattoos that need to heal.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. You can't bake because you got tattoos to heal?
Did he get them on his hand?
Oh, did you get the hand tattoo? I guess that would... yeah, because you need your hands.
Well, yeah, but all right.
Oh, but those birds are getting him up again.
Anyway,
so.
send us pictures of the tattoos.
Embrace waking up early, I guess it's what it's saying. Embrace it, and
don't embrace
some
it.
things will
balance
it. It'll balance out the other things that are happening.
But the thing is, I don't want to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning.
No one wants to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning,
but we
do because we feed the dogs and then we start work.
Yeah, and I do try to get off at 3.
He said it hurt like a mofo.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
that is one of the worst places I've heard.
And so I have told this story to some people, but there was my daughter Suzanne and I got tattoos, matching tattoos, and and so but me, you, and Brandon have matching tattoos, but so me and Susanna got matching tattoos.
Federico, you gotta wake up in 4 hours. What are you doing, man? We're not worth this shit.
We are. Federico, go get some sleep, man. I'm sure I'm probably sending you a message tomorrow about
that's
something.
His hand tattoo. Kay just texted me a picture.
Oh wow!
Oh, you went with a China. I mean, I'll share it in chat, share it on screen if you give me permission. But it's like a Chinese.
Oh, that's really cool. But when we were getting the tattoos, there was a guy who called his girlfriend, who was there, a bitch, but got a hand tattoo. Had a few drinks prior.
They're not supposed to tattoo if you are under the influence of alcohol.
Yeah, but they gave it to an apprentice, and so.
Oh right, you told the story I think when Adam was here.
But did I tell it to the?
Yeah, you said not to our but then, Cosmos, but you told the story when Adam was talking about
it was beautiful karma. It was beautiful karma because he started throwing up.
Right, yes.
Because it was so painful.
Adam's hand.
There you go.
There it is.
That's nice.
Very cool.
The thing is that these tattoos...
Good line work.
These tattoos were going to go originally on my hands, but you said you didn't want them on my hands.
I'm not... Look, it's fine, Adam. For you, I'm not like a fan of... I'm not a big fan of hand tattoos. And neck tattoos. Neck tattoos, front neck tattoos, I'll say, because I have a little lizard on the back of my neck, but full front neck tattoos and hand tattoos, depending on what it is, maybe, I'm not necessarily it's not appealing to me. I mean, if you want a hand tattoo, I'll support you and I'll love you.
Well, no, these were going to go on my hands, but and so you said you weren't necessarily a big fan of that, so I found a new place.
Yeah, I think
because you have to look at them. What?
Yeah, I do.
You do have to look at them, and so I. All right.
Good night, Federico.
Good night, Federico.
You go to bed. Have sweet dreams, and may Luna's battle with Neptune go end in your favor.
What is it that was in that movie, Kill a Mockingbird? No, not Kill a Mockingbird.
Wow, take it back to Kill a Mockingbird?
God, no, it was... it had the Mockingbird.
May the odds be ever in your favor.
May the odds...
Hunger Games.
Hunger Games.
Yeah.
That's it.
May the sleep be ever in your favor.
But it wasn't one of the Mockingjay.
Mockingjay.
There you go. Thank you, Brandon. Yeah, thank you, Brandon and Liz.
We got there.
I have had lots of drinks.
You still have some drink.
I do. And we have to finish up that whole Duggars thing.
Oh my god. Look, I know we're in the hangover, but let's focus. All right. Are there any more horoscopes? I think we covered everybody's horoscopes that are listening.
All right, so we got Okay, we got Brandon, we got Katie, we got Adam, we got you, we got your mom and your dad, and me, and Federico.
And we got Jack.
Everybody. And Jack, because he's with Katie.
Yeah, so I in general with Katie binged it. We just watched the first episode.
We watched the first 2 episodes.
Oh God. Read your horoscope for fun. Take it with a grain of salt. If you use it for whatever you want to get out of it, but don't take it as a truth or reality, or how
the universe works.
How the universe works actually dictates how your life path is going to go. Because at the end of the day, there's only one human being in the whole universe that experiences your life the way you do, and that's you. Yeah. Nobody else can see the world through your eyes, because you're the only person in your body, obviously, right? You're the only psychosis. Your brain's the only thing there making your thoughts and interpreting the world the way you interpret it. So it's kind of like the old adage, the cliched adage is, you make the world what you make it. You make your life what you make it. Or in the words of Jack Dawson, Titanic, 1997, by James Cameron, you make your luck count. You make it count.
But he could have gotten on that damn board.
He could have gotten on the goddamn board. All right? Mythbusters proved it. And
no matter what James Cameron says,
he could have gotten on that guy. But then that takes away from the whole emotional story and the reality that people lost loved ones on the Titanic. And as that is said, thanks for joining us on Cosmos with Cosmos, the astrology episode.
God, this was a good episode.
Hangover.
This is 3 hours. This was great.
Astrology is bullshit.
Take a drink, everybody.
And take it with a grain of salt. But hey, if you're into it, have fun. Just don't force it on other people.
You know what? You did good.
I didn't get as there were some bits where I got angry, but I was really trying to be a little bit more positive with it. So thank you guys.
So cheers, everybody. We'll see you in 2 weeks for Space Gaze.
Space Gaze. Adios, all.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Cheers.
Cheers. Ending.
Are we ending? Are we